For Tennessee and Memphis, the quarterback play has been somewhat erratic, so it may be in the hands of running backs today. And a great one, leading the nation in running, is D'Angelo Williams for Memphis. Started the season on everybody's All-American list. And for the Tennessee Volunteers, it may be in the hands of a redshirt freshman, Arian Foster, who's averaging almost 5 yards per carry and has been outstanding after stepping in for the injured Gerald Riggs. Tennessee and Memphis coming up next. On a perfect fall day in East Tennessee, high on Rocky Top, it's time for Tennessee and Memphis. Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Bell, along with Terrence Cleveland, former Tennessee receiver, set to bring you the action today. Two teams that are struggling right now, both still have a chance to salvage something here. Let's take a look, first of all, Terrence, at the tail of the tape, shall we say.
When we look at the tail of the tape, those numbers are a little misleading because of the level of competition that Tennessee has faced. They faced a lot of teams that have been ranked in the top 10. When you look at the Memphis schedule, you don't see that. So those numbers are a little skewed based on the strength of schedule.
Well, we got two good running backs today, and they deserve the spotlight. Really, they are in the spotlight. Potentially a great one for Tennessee, and a truly great one. Really, Tennessee's facing an NFL running back today.
He is. He is one of the best running backs in the country, and his numbers show you that. He's averaging 185 yards a game, and this kid has the ability to break the long run. He has the ability to run in between the tackles. He can make people miss. He is exceptional. He is special. Tennessee will have their hands full today with D'Angelo Williams, but this Tennessee defense, I think, will be up for the challenge.
D'Angelo Williams versus Arian Foster. We'll see how that all turns out. Tennessee's defense, though, really deserves more than what they've gotten this year. National recognition, perhaps. They are truly great.
I agree with you. They lead the conference in rushing defense. They're fourth nationally in rushing defense. That's been the strength of this football team. And John Chavis's defense, especially his front seven, they love a challenge, and they're in for a big challenge today. Expect them to step up. Paris Harrelson, Jason Hall, the linebacker core, they will be great today. They haven't allowed a rusher to gain 100 yards a day. D'Angelo Williams would challenge them that, but I think they'll be up for the challenge.
Well, you almost hate to mention it because they have had disappointing seasons, but actually both of them can play themselves into a bowl game before this season is over. It's a blood rival situation. They haven't met that many times. Tennessee has the edge 18-1 in this series, but it's going to be a good ball game. We got that feeling, and we are glad to have you with us. Tennessee and Memphis coming up next. Well, welcome back in here at Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, Tennessee and Memphis. In all of my years coming to Knoxville, I don't know that I've ever seen a better football day than this. Absolutely perfect. Comfortable, temperature in the 60s, bright sunshine, and two rivals going after each other, and two teams trying to salvage something out of this year. Let's take a look at the history of this series. Is one-sided, Tennessee 18-1, but that one Memphis win in '96 was absolutely huge. They're still talking about that one in West Tennessee, and Tennessee's still talking about the severity of that loss that year. And as we talked about the weather, there you see Old Glory and the state flag, 66 degrees, 70% wind, very light, not a factor at all, and just clear skies. And the weather will be just ideal for this football game today against the backdrop of the beautiful leaves here in East Tennessee. Well, Tennessee has had a season under Phil Fulmer that's been somewhat disappointing. There's a man who played at Tennessee, Tommy West, in the mid-70s, was an outstanding tight end here, and also was a good baseball player, hit over 300 for the Tennessee baseball team. But right now, his heart is in Memphis. Tommy West, head coach of the Memphis Tigers. Philip Fulmer had a nightmare season. He started the year ranked number 3 in the nation, picked by most everybody to win the SEC. They are just suffering through a lot of disappointments. There are many things you can point to, Terrence. Quarterback play has not been good. Both Clausen and Ainge have been off the mark this year. The receivers have not played well. The offensive line has not, especially in run blocking, been that good. But the defense has kept them in the ball games, giving them a chance to win. special teams play has also been a problem.
I think the one bright spot, we talked about this at the beginning of the ball game, has been the defense, and a lot of areas for improvement for Tennessee in the next 3 ball games. And Philip Fulmer says the team understands what they have to do to become bowl eligible, but before you can win 6, you have to win 4.
R.G. Detillier is the referee today. This crew is from Conference USA. It's Joseph Doss and Ernest Williams deep to receive for Memphis. Kicking off for Tennessee will be James Wilhoit, who has had a good year kicking off. A lot of kicks have gone deep into the checkerboard here at Neyland Stadium, which is something the coaches love, and no chance for a return. Tennessee goes in a heavy favorite today, but they were a heavy favorite in Memphis when the Tigers won. It's about a yard deep in the end zone, and Memphis is coming out of there with it. A little bit of a crease. It closes down quickly by the Orange, though. Joseph Doss is knocked down by Ryan Carl, backup linebacker for the University of Tennessee. The Memphis offense taking a look at these. Billingsley, Handy, Smith, Pierce, Shue. These are undersized guys compared to Tennessee. Maurice Avery is the quarterback. By the way, this is the 4th quarterback Memphis has used this year because of injuries, and headed up, of course, by the great D'Angelo Williams, who is truly going to be a Sunday football player. Snap goes direct. Pitch inside. A little shuffle pass inside. Tennessee's defense closes it down, led by Jason Hall. Joseph Doss knocked down. Tennessee's defense, and we cannot say enough good things about them. Harris Harrelson especially has been outstanding, as has Jason Hall at the other end. Malona and Harrell have played very well in the middle as well. Memphis, Joseph Doss, the only running back. They go with a 1-back set and usually use 4 receivers, which they have out there right now, 2 on each side.
Interesting for Memphis, their first 2 plays, D'Angelo Williams is not in the ball game.
Throw it out in the flat to the 20, the 22, and almost to the 25 before Ryan Scott, wide receiver, is knocked down. Marvin Mitchell was there defensively for Tennessee.
And there you see Williams on the sideline trying to warm up.
It looks like that Kevin Simon is not out there right now, and he has been banged up a little bit. We'll see if he plays much. He is there on the field right now. And there's been a little bit of a question mark about him. D'Angelo Williams, though, is the man to watch for Memphis, because he is an exciting player who had a chance last year to go out for the draft and probably would have been a very high pick, but chose to return. This time they run that shuffle pass inside again, and it's incomplete. I think it goes as a pass anyway. Not a, he of course dropped it, so it's just an incomplete pass. Omar Gaither smothered it in there. Let's take another look at it, Terrence.
Yeah, they're going to go with a shovel pass and just a bad pitch. Offensive lineman fell down in front of the running back, so the play may have not gone. It may have gone for a no gain anyway, but definitely a bad toss, or would you say a bad pass?
Bad pass. Low and outside. Interesting.
D'Angelo Williams still on the sideline. Joseph Doss is the running back in the 1-back set.
They'll roll back this time and look deep. Going to turn it loose. Tennessee down there defensively, pretty well covered and almost intercepted by Tennessee, as a matter of fact. Jonathan Heffney was there defensively on Maurice Jones. Heffney step by step with him.
Nice play by Jonathan Heffney, but at the end of the play, maybe a question as to whether or not he was face guarding the wide receiver. We'll see at the end.
Avery now 2 of 4 for 10 yards throwing the football.
End of the play, but I guess the ref said a no call.
3rd down and 10. First big play for the Tennessee defense. Big play for the Memphis offense. Here in Neyland Stadium, it's homecoming on the hill in Knoxville. There are a few empty seats. The paid attendance will be the figure that we will get today, or the paid tickets, but the attendance probably will be below what it normally is. Here's a pass complete up to the 39-yard line. John Doucette Kevin Simon, the middle linebacker, was there to make the stop, but not until he moved the chains. Third down has been a big play for Tennessee defensively. It's not been good.
It has, and Memphis wisely, understanding the pressure that's going to be put on Avery, they roll him out, and he's able to find the tight end for the first down.
Third and long, Tennessee has suffered on many occasions this year on that particular down.
And most of the offenses this year that have given this Tennessee defense some trouble have been offenses where the quarterback has had the ability to roll out and throw the football. You remember UAB, Georgia, those quarterbacks are very mobile quarterbacks.
They run fake a reverse and run up the middle this time. Justin Harrell knocks down Joseph Doss for a gain of maybe 2 yards, and that's about it. Memphis with a little bit of movement offensively here in this ball game. Another look.
And John Chavis's defense, sometimes it takes a while for them to adjust what's going on offensively. They usually dig their heels in at around the end of the first quarter, and from that point on, they play very good defense.
Memphis splits 2 men out far to the left this time, 1 to the right. Shadows over part of the field, the press box, and sweeps are shadowing part of the field. Avery lobs it downfield, a timing pattern which Tennessee plays perfectly. And no chance. Inky Johnson was there on Ryan Scott. Johnson's one of those youngsters that you have a feeling is going to really be a star before he leaves here.
He has, and Jason Allen has really taken Inky Johnson under his wing and really talks to him during the week and tries to coach him up and teach him techniques and things like that. But Inky Johnson is becoming a very good defensive back and developing some confidence. I think he's going to be a good player for Tennessee down the road.
Tennessee's pattern very good on first and second down, sometimes trouble on third. Here comes a 3rd and 8. And the official blows his whistle and stops play momentarily. Now we're set to go. They operate out of the gun this time with a lot of receivers in the pattern, looking for help. Being chased. Tennessee's going to run him down. Jason Hall, great pursuit by Jason Hall, who, as I said, has had a really outstanding year. Maurice Avery could not escape the big youngster at defensive end. Wound up losing 6.
You're right. You're going to see Jesse Mahalona apply the initial pressure, force him out of the pocket, and right into the hands of Jason Hall, who is having an incredible second half of the season.
So it'll be punt formation for Memphis. Michael Gibson will be back there to kick, and Jonathan Hefney will be back to receive. No score in this ball game in Knoxville. Homecoming on the hill. The kick is away, and it's a pretty good one for the sidelines. It's fielded by Hefney, and he cuts up the sideline. Not much room, but did fight to get a little something extra out of it. 53-yard kick that time by Memphis. Tigers have a couple of games remaining on their schedule. Southern Miss and Marshall. Tennessee, of course, has Vanderbilt coming in here next week for their final home game. Then they play the Kentucky Wildcats in Lexington. So Tennessee winding up with 2 in-state rivals and their oldest rival in the football series, the Kentucky Wildcats. So they can win these 3, then maybe get a bowl bid and win there. But tell you what, it's still going to be a disappointing year for the ball fans, but they're trying to salvage something. Volunteers on offense, Sears, Smith, Ligon, Douglas, and Tawina are the men up front, and they're all huge. Ainge will open at quarterback. Arian Foster at tailback. Corey Anderson, the big fullback. The receivers, Hannah Meacham and Chris Brown, will be the tight end. Terrence, you played receiver at Tennessee, and you played on some pretty good football teams. What's your assessment? What's the problem of the Tennessee receivers this year? What's happening?
I think, first of all, I think to play the position at wide receiver, I think you have to have a lot of confidence. So I think the problem of dropping balls at crucial situations in ball games really doesn't do anything for their confidence. And then the position is not only a position of speed and strength, but it's also a position of technique and discipline. And I think in those 2 areas, I think these wide receivers are a little bit underachieving when it comes to the technical part of playing the position and then the discipline part of playing the position.
Well, you played under Kippy Brown, who was considered one of the all-time great defensive coaches around here. And of course, he's in the NFL right now. And even when you were winning, he wouldn't let up on you, would he?
No, let up was never a word that we
treated
used
you
much
like a dog, didn't
while
he?
I was here at the University of Tennessee. A lot of potential in this group of wide receivers, a lot of ability. This group still has a chance. It's a very young group, chance to be a memorable group of wide receivers at the University of Tennessee.
Eric Ainge will be at quarterback. Arian Foster will be behind him. Big Anderson at fullback. Tennessee sets 2 receivers on the right this time. And Ainge, who's got a world of ability, but still it just hasn't quite clicked on all cylinders for him this season. Foster cuts back, tries to find something there, and not much is there. He's going to wind up with about a 3-yard gain before Tim Goodwell, the inside linebacker, made the stop for Memphis. Memphis defense, they go with a couple of down linemen, defensive ends, West and Washington. Then they use 4 linebackers who will step into the hole at times, and they're pretty good players, and then they use 5 defensive backs. So it's an entirely different defensive set that Tennessee is looking at. This time Foster does find a little running room and gets across the 25 up to about the 26 or 27-yard line. Arian Foster, it would appear to me, has a brilliant future here at Tennessee. Mike Snyder, by the way, made the stop that time. It is enough for a first down as they move the chains. But Foster's he's got great footwork, for instance. I think that jumps out at you first when you see him run.
Very good footwork, runs hard, has good vision. The one knock on him is that he does put the ball on the ground, but that's something that he's working on. One thing that I think he lacks is the ability for the big play. But I think that he's going to be a very good running back for Tennessee.
C.J. Bates went in motion, and they hand it off to Foster, who cuts outside, then back inside. And that's an example of his vision. Not much there, but he was looking. Carlton Baker, left outside linebacker, made the stop. They give him 2 yards on the play.
And if Tennessee was ever going to get on track offensively, you would expect them to do it today. In the last 4 or 5 ball games, this Memphis defense has given up over 500 yards of total offense. So if Tennessee's going to get on track, this is a wonderful opportunity for them.
Tennessee's offensive line, too, has a tremendous weight advantage over Memphis defense. Ainge back to throw, fires it, and all goes picked off. Not a wise decision on that one. Wesley Smith, the free safety, was right in the face of Justin Reed, the tight end, who was cutting out to his right. Another look.
And Justin Reed is going to run an underneath crossing route, and Ainge is going to be late with the throw. Reed was open early, Ainge a little late with the throw, and a great play by Wesley Smith.
So now Tennessee looks at a 3rd down and 8. Ainge numbers on the year. Got a great arm. He turns it loose this time. It's going to be complete, but it's not going to be enough for a first down. Headed out to C.J. Payton out at the flat. He picked up 6 yards, but he needed about 2 more. O.C. Collins was there defensively for Memphis.
And these are some of the questions that pop up about this offense. You need 8 yards for a first down, but you run a route that picks up 4 or 5.
You break off the pattern before you get to the chain. That is, yeah, those are questions. Here's Brenton Colquitt to kick. He's near the bottom of the conference in total yardage punting, but that's a misnomer because he has done a great job of placing the football this year. Against South Carolina, for instance, he gave them every chance in the world to win the football game. Great punt this time, fielded by Memphis, but nowhere to go for Brandon McDonald. 51 yards on the kick. Omar Gaither made the stop. We're in the first quarter here in Knoxville. Homecoming on the Hill. There is no score. Memphis and Tennessee. You're watching CSS, your source for sports in the Southeast. Memphis coach Tommy West looking on. The great mystery to all of us here, and we're trying to find it out like everybody else. What has happened to D'Angelo Williams? Why is he not in the lineup? There seems to be no injury problem. Here's Avery rolling and throwing complete. Up to the 40 and beyond. Knocked out of bounds at that point, but a huge gain for Memphis. Tremendous play that time. Ryan Scott, the receiver, ran a great pattern, and he picked up 24 yards on the play.
A good job, Maurice Ravery, on the run, finding Ryan, and a good job of picking up the first down.
The All-American tailback has not appeared Ryan Scott's numbers on the year. He's a good receiver. Here's Avery on a cutback, and it works beautifully. Cutting against the grain. He dropped the ball, but he was already down. Kevin Simon hit Joseph Doss as he cut back against the grain, trying to take advantage of Tennessee's pursuit that time.
Exactly.
Over pursuit.
Over pursuit and speed on defense, and a nice job of finding the seam by Dawson. You wonder about if there's an injury to D'Angelo Williams, because that's the kind of play that Williams takes to the end zone.
That is exactly right. He would have still been running. They bring a man in motion. They send it right up the middle this time and cross down over the 45 for a 2-yard gain. Antonio Reynolds made the stop from defensive end of Joseph Doss, who's been the workhorse here in place of Williams. Memphis with a first down and 10 to go. Ball on the 44-yard line of Tennessee. Joseph Doss on the day, averaging 5 yards per pop. Maurice Avery standing up. He's the 4th quarterback Memphis has used this year. Tennessee is virtually unbeatable in the month of November since '85. They're 75-6. They fake the pitch. Quarterback keeps it on a nice fake and runs out of bounds. Jonathan Hepney was there to force him out of bounds, but a nice pickup of 11 yards and another first down for the Memphis Tigers.
And a nice job, nice fake by Maurice Avery. He is a converted wide receiver. He's going to draw Antonio Reynolds in with the fake, and has the ability to pick up the first down. I've been really impressed with Maurice Avery at quarterback initially here in this ballgame.
Well, Memphis moving with the football on Tennessee. Volunteers defense kind of reeling right now. They're using a lot of motion, a lot of fakes. This time Avery on the sideline turned nothing into a little something, and Twan Stewart finally ran him out of bounds, but he did show some real athletic ability in turning that into a little bit of a gain. Omar Gaither was also there to push him out.
Exactly. Omar Gaither is going to do a good job of trying to force his hand, and his athletic ability allows him, as you said, to struggle and fight for a 5-yard pickup when initially there was nothing there.
It'll be second down for Memphis and about 7 yards to go with the ball on the Tennessee 30-yard line. Volunteer defense trying to dig in early here. Crowd pretty quiet on this sun-baked day in East Tennessee. It's time to use a full house backfield. Avery in trouble. Got away from one man. Got away from another. Tennessee missed about 3 tackles on that one before Jesse Mahalona finally brings down Maurice Avery. Pickup of 4 yards. It should have been about a 4-yard loss.
Avery's bringing a lot of excitement to this offense, but 2 things you have to worry about. You have to worry about whether or not, as the game goes on, his conditioning, and 2, can he continue to take the pounding that the Tennessee defense is going to put on him once he puts the ball down and starts to run with it.
See, D'Angelo Williams is still on the sidelines. It's a 3rd and 3, and this would be a play where he would certainly be carrying the football. A timeout is going to be called here by Memphis.
Now,
the only thing we can figure out here is there might be some disciplinary problem, because pretty obvious there is no injury. There is no score here in Knoxville between Memphis and Tennessee. You are watching college football on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Back here in Neyland Stadium, there's the All-American D'Angelo Williams, who has not seen action as yet. You know, he maybe could have tweaked a hamstring and warm up, an ankle or something, but he's been bouncing around on the sidelines. Tigers' offensive line has only given up 5 sacks this season. So they've done a pretty good job in protection, that's for sure.
And you also got to think that this is an offense that's predicated on running the football, so they don't throw it a whole lot, but that's still impressive, giving up only 5 sacks throughout the whole football season.
Well, they're looking now at a 3rd down and 3. So here's a huge stand for the Tennessee defense. Big for the Memphis O. Avery goes into the gun, takes it, stands back, not much pressure, gets his pass away. It was there, and the receiver dropped it. Maurice Jones. Tennessee putting a little pressure on him, but probably should have caught it. Antoine Stewart was coming up on his back defensively, so Tennessee does stop them this time.
No question that was a catchable ball right in the hands, exactly where you want to throw it. Good throw from the quarterback, Avery, and you see Tommy West saying, hey, we need those kind of plays. If you're going to play ball for me, you got to make those kind of plays.
Stephen Gostkowski will attempt the field goal, and it will be a 43-yard effort. Kicking from the shade into the sun. Down, the kick is on the way, and it is good. Memphis draws first blood here in Knoxville, taking a 3-0 lead on a pretty good drive. Without their All-American tailback, D'Angelo Williams, they drive down and kick a 43-yard field goal and go on top 3-0 here in Knoxville in the first quarter with 5:35 to go. You are watching college football on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. All right, back here in Neyland Stadium in Knoxville. The official attendance will be announced later. It will be how many tickets were sold. But we do see some empty seats around here today on this homecoming event. Tennessee fans, like the players and coaches, disappointed with the season. Memphis not disappointed with that kick, about 5 yards beyond the checkerboard, so Tennessee will bring it out and put it in play at the 20-yard line. And now the spotlight is on the Tennessee offense. They need to do something. The defense did stop the Memphis drive, but they did give up 3 points. But Tennessee offensively in the first series just really looked sort of inept, to be honest with you, and that's been kind of the story of the season for Tennessee.
I agree with you, and if you're Memphis, you have to feel really good about having a 3-0 lead, and your best football players, you said, being on the sideline for much of this first quarter.
Gaines hands off to his tailback, Arian Foster. He crosses the 20 to maybe the 23-yard line before the middle of the Tiger defense brings him down. Arian Foster had a very good game in his last outing against Notre Dame. There's the Tigers scoring drive. 8 plays, covered 55 yards, and here was the big play.
The big play that got the whole scoring drive started. Nice throw, good catch to the wide receiver, Ryan Scott. And Memphis offensively has been able to do a lot on this Tennessee defense today.
Back to the live action. Memphis intercepts Brandon McDonald down the sidelines. Still on his feet and finally knocked down on the Tennessee 25-yard line. Wow. Eric Ainge' pass was intended for Swain. Brandon McDonald stepped in and took it away and returned it nicely down the side of the field in great field position for Memphis.
Tennessee offensively decided to take a shot down the field, and I think the ball was underthrown by Eric Ainge. Not a lot on the football, kind of wobbly, and a great play by the defensive back, Brandon McDonald from Memphis.
37 yards, Terrence, on the return. So Memphis right back in action right here, ready to knock on the goal line again for the Tigers. Maurice Avery rolls back, wants to throw, does throw. It is incomplete. Tennessee covered it quite well that time. John Doucette was the intended receiver. It was knocked away. Another look at the interception.
Eric Ainge, it's going to be some pressure you see right at the feet of Eric Ainge. So he's not able to step and throw this ball the way he wants to throw it. Has to kind of wing it and doesn't have a whole lot on it. Just an incredible play by Brandon McDonald.
Second down situation for Avery. He's 4 of 9 for 50 yards in this ball game thus far. And we're in the first quarter. 4 minutes 40 to go. It's a handoff and down to about the 21-yard line. Kevin Simon hits Joseph Doss at that point. Kevin Simon has had a very solid year for Tennessee at middle linebacker. There he is, number 2.
Very active at the linebacker position. Really, you like to see Kevin Simon have this kind of year. His whole career here at Tennessee has been marked by injuries, and it's just awesome to see Kevin Simon, that has a tremendous passion for the ball game, be able to play an injury-free season.
Big down right here. Memphis is 1 of 3 on 3rd down. They won't make it this time. Omar Gaither really stuck. Jason Hall. Joseph Doss was there. I think Hall was the primary man. There he is. We talked earlier about what a year he has had. It's been a kind of a quiet year for him, too. Paris Harrelson on the other side's gotten quite a bit of publicity, but Hall has just been solid as a rock.
He has been tremendous, and as we talked about, John Chavis's defense, as the game goes on, they recognize the offense, and they'll start to play those shuffle passes and the option a lot better. And a great play by Jason Hall.
Kostowski is going to try another field goal, and this one is 37 yards out, and it is also good. So he's hit 2 now, and Memphis leads 6-0 here in Knoxville on the Tennessee homecoming. And there's a big crowd here, by the way, from West Tennessee. A lot of blue in the stands across the way. They came here thinking they had a chance, and they do have a chance. On Tuesday, Chicago Cubs catcher Michael Barrett visits the Sports Night crew, and NFL expert Gerald Riggs weighs in on Sunday's gridiron matchups. Catch Sports Night Tuesday at 6 and 11, only on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. We are told now that D'Angelo Williams is not playing because of a tender ankle, and they do not tell us if he will possibly play later or not. That's the information that we have received from the sidelines. The All-American running back has a tender ankle, but without him, Memphis is leading 6-0. Demetrius Morley is deep to receive the Memphis kickoff. So the Tigers right now sitting in the catbird seat. The crowd was kind of quiet to begin the game, and they're really quiet right now, except for the Memphis folks. Another fantastic kickoff through the end zone. No chance for any kind of return, not even a chance to field it. So Tennessee will pull it out to the 20, put it in play, first down and 10. And now, once again, the spotlight goes on the Tennessee offense, which is yet to do anything significant in this game. Tennessee takes on Vanderbilt here next week, which will be their final home game of the year. They wind up the season at Kentucky. Vanderbilt game, I think, will be a 12:30 start. The Kentucky game is a little bit up in the air right now as to when it will start. Here's the handoff to Foster. Foster finds a hole at right tackle and dances through close to the 30-yard line. He may be just about a half a yard shy of a first down. O.C. Collins from linebacker spot, left cornerback, actually made the stop that time for the Tigers. Picked up 9 yards on that play.
And a nice job of Aaron Foster having good vision, allowing the play, good patience, allowing the play to develop.
Tigers scoring drive, 4 plays, culminated in a field goal. They pick up the first down this time as the ball is taken out to the 39-yard line.
Take another look at the interception. As we said, there's a pile at the feet of Eric Ainge. He can't step into the throw and doesn't get a lot on the football, but Brandon McDonald able to make an exceptional play.
Ball is on the 34-yard line, where it is first down and 10 to go at that point for Tennessee, as they do pick up a first down. Ainge keeps it on the ground. Foster dancing and looking for running room, and just on his own picks up a couple of yards. That's an example of a back who has good vision and will, well, not necessarily a hole there, but he will pick up a little yardage.
And you're right, coaches don't normally like backs to do this, but Aaron Foster does it really well. You know, most coaches tell you don't dance in the hole, find a lane and explode through it, but he has great vision and is able to be able to do that.
Well, it brings up at the 38-yard line a second down and 6. He gets the call again. This time a flag goes down as he's knocked down around the 43-yard line by Tim Goodwell. Arian Foster carrying the ball, but a flag was tossed immediately.
And following this Tennessee football team this year, we're accustomed to seeing this kind of play, which is negated by a penalty, and this looks like it's going to be against Tennessee.
Conference USA officials.
Holding. Offense. Number 87. 10-yard penalty. Line of scrimmage. Replay. Second down.
Well, it was on Justin Reed, the tight end, number 87, who was caught for holding, and so it sets them back and puts Tennessee now in a position of second down and 16 yards to go for a first. Three receivers at the top of your screen, one to the left. Passing all the way. Ames rolls and looks. Running out of time, and Field throws another interception. Memphis takes over on the interception, and they're going to be in good field position once again. There's a flag down, so let's hold everything. The players now are huddling around the official on the far side of the field, right in front of the Tennessee bench.
Number 10, defense. 15 yards from the line of scrimmage. First down.
Personal foul on Carlton Baker.
Eric Ainge just got a huge early Christmas gift. The pass that he threw down the field, I don't know who it was intended for, but it was a terrible pass. Tennessee's going to get the football back because of a personal foul roughing the passer, but
C.J. Payton was in the neighborhood. Let's take a look. I think he was the intended receiver.
He's the intended receiver, but there's no one in the area where Eric Ainge throws the football.
Wow. You're right. A good break for Tennessee. Tough break for the Memphis Tigers right there on the personal foul by Baker. Ainge sticks it in the stomach of Arian Foster. There's a big hole right at the line of scrimmage. They opened it up, and he stepped through for some pretty positive yardage just shy of the 50. Michael Spurlock made the stop.
And the play that Eric Ainge just made, the interception, that's the kind of play that he's had. That's the way he's played all year. And there's been a lot of talk about what's wrong with Eric Ainge. Is it his confidence? Is it the fact that they didn't decide on a quarterback earlier in the year? Who knows what it is, but he's just not playing well at the quarterback position for Tennessee.
Foster steps through close to a first down, maybe not quite there, as he's knocked down in Memphis territory by Carlton Baker. He got 2 yards on the carry. Yeah, there are all kinds of speculations about many different things in Tennessee. We're hearing all kinds of rumors about coaching changes, and when you have a year this disappointing, there probably will be changes. We'll talk more about that in the course of the game, some of the talk that's out there, but really nobody knows except Philip Fulmer and perhaps Mike Hamilton, the athletic director. Nothing much there. Memphis closes it down tight. Brandon McDonald hit Arian Foster for 0 gain. So it's going to bring up a 4th down situation, and Tennessee really needed something positive to happen right there. And you hear a smattering of boos rippling through the crowd right here. End of the quarter here in Knoxville on homecoming at Rocky Top. Memphis Tigers 6, Tennessee Volunteers nothing. You're watching college football on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Well, there's your story as we move to quarter number 2 here in Knoxville. Memphis leading Tennessee by a score of 6-0. The Vols came in about an 18.5-point favorite, but Memphis has dominated offensively here in the first half. Tennessee's defense has played decent football, but the offense has done really nothing much. And there you see the situation. First downs, Tennessee only 3. And in passing yardage, a grand total of 6 in this first quarter of play. Memphis with a 2-minute advantage almost in time of possession. 6-0, Memphis leading. And the crowd kind of stunned right here at the play thus far in this ball game. The play of the Volunteers. It is homecoming. The grads are back, and probably the grads are not happy right now. Colquitt will be punting, standing at his 37-yard line, gets the kick away. It's a Highland. Signal for a fair catch and taken at the 15-yard line by Brandon McDonald. So Memphis goes back on offense, still without their great tailback. 34-yard punt. So Memphis has got a 6-0 lead without D'Angelo Williams, and operating with their 4th quarterback of the year because of injuries.
And as we talked about, he is a converted wide receiver, but been really impressed thus far with the play of Maurice Avery. I think for Tennessee, I think the defense is really going to have to create some kind of momentum for this football team. Tennessee defense needs to create a turnover and give the offense some very good field position.
Avery, by the way, 6'1", weighs about 216 pounds. He hands off to his tailback, and they run straight up the middle this time. Kevin Simon hit Joseph Doss after a short gain. Closer to 5, so it's not a bad run at all. twisted for a last yard there and running hard. Early second quarter. Memphis 6-0. Perfect football day. Shadows have just about covered 80% of the field right now, but across the way the sun still brightly shines, and from the 20-yard line on in it shines. Avery will operate in the shotgun. Stands up, fakes, now throws. Got a man out there. Doucette. John Doucette, 6'2", 265-pound tight end. Pick up 15.
Nothing there initially for Avery, but he's able to improvise and create a play. The tight end keeps running down the field. Nice throw and catch. And sometimes quarterbacks like Avery are even harder to defend than guys that the starting quarterback, a guy that you don't have a whole lot of film. John Chavis didn't have a whole lot of film on Maurice Avery coming into this ball game, so there's a lot of question marks about what he does, what his tendencies are.
Hands off on a delay right up the middle this time. They set up in a passing formation, then ran the football, and Marvin Mitchell finally made the stop. But the pickup is 4 yards. Very solid.
Memphis offense able to run the ball, able to throw the ball. Very impressive early on in this ball game.
Mitchell rode him down, but he picked up 4 yards to make it a 2nd and 6. Avery will stand up in the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Hands off to his tailback. He's going to have the first down and a lot more. Deep into Tennessee territory, down to the 42-yard line goes the runner, Joseph Doss. Marvin Mitchell rode him down.
You know, there have been a lot of great tailbacks discovered when the starting tailbacks at universities go down. And Joseph Doss has been very impressive here in this ball game against Tennessee.
23-yard pickup that time by the Memphis tailback, Doss. 2 receivers right, 1 left. They keep a couple of backs in for protection. Whistle blows. Stops play for a second. Now we're set to go. Avery maybe changing plays. Gets the direct snap. Lobs it downfield. It's going to be caught. Caught and knocked out of bounds is Maurice Jones. Jonathan Wade hit him, but not until the big chunk of yardage had been picked up.
And Jonathan Wade had decent coverage on Maurice Jones, but what Avery does is he throws the ball short, and his wide receiver knows that. Maurice Jones knows that this is a short throw, so he's able to make a play on the football, although it's thrown behind him. Great throw and catch.
Got 17 on this one. First down and 10 to go for a driving Memphis Tiger team. Avery gives it off on the reverse. There's the big yardage again, down to the 10, inside the 10. Still driving and almost to the 5-yard line goes Taz Knockham. What a great football name that is. Taz Knockham. 19 yards.
And a great job by the offensive coaches of Memphis of mixing it up. Here they go with the reverse. And they run it to perfection.
It looked like it got a little more yardage, but the knee went down, and they spotted on the 7-yard line. So it'll be first and goal at the 7-yard line for Memphis, already leading 6-0 in this homecoming game for the Tennessee Volunteers. They fake that reverse this time, and Avery rolls to his right, still rolling. It's going to be knocked down finally by Kevin Simon. Simon, because of his speed, was able to catch him and knock him out of bounds without getting into the end zone, so he winds up maybe 3 yards on the gain. There's Kevin Simon, a senior who has been really outstanding this year for Tennessee. One of those players who never quits.
You're exactly right. And Memphis has been very good inside the 20 coming into this ball game. They've scored on 26 tries out of 30 with 18 touchdowns inside the 20 coming into this ball game.
This will be the 8th play of this drive, and it's really been rather easy for Memphis to move downfield, to be honest with you, as you have seen. 11-10 remaining in this first half of play. The Tigers up 6-0 and threatening to add more.
And I think the play clock is they're just gonna get it off.
He really just threw it away. He had a great rush on him that time. Antonio Reynolds was in rushing, and so Avery just kind of tossed it out there in the back of the end zone and wisely threw it away.
Wisely throws it away. I think this play may have been dead from the get-go, and he just wisely throws it out of bounds, and they're able to line up and go for another try.
Actually, there was no receiver really for Memphis in the neighborhood that time. Memphis 1 of 4 on third down conversions. Here they are third. There's a timeout going to be called right here. 10 minutes and 54 seconds remaining in the first half of play here in Neyland Stadium in Knoxville. Your score is Memphis 6, Tennessee nothing. Memphis threatening. You're watching college football on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Well, there's a man who's searching for the answers right now, and he hasn't found them, to be honest with you. Coach Philip Fulmer, his team is down 6-0 and about to be down more. Third down and 4. The defensive coordinator, John Chavis. Tennessee defense for the first time this year looks like they are very lethargic.
Very lethargic. We talked about it before the ball game that this has been one of the strengths of this football team, and they carried this football team in a lot of ball games, just not looking like the Tennessee defense we're accustomed to seeing.
Not playing with a lot of fire at the moment. Let's see if that changes. On a third and 4. Avery from the gun. Rolling to his left. Still looking. Cuts it back in. He's down 2 and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. Maurice Avery scores for Memphis and runs it out now to a 12-0 score with the extra point coming up. Tell you what, he kind of made it look easy at the last second, as you'll see right here.
Nice job by Maurice Avery, keeping the play alive, scrambling, getting into the end zone.
Tennessee not coming up to make contact until he had already crossed the goal line or was right on the goal line.
And as we talked about, Memphis is doing this without their best football player on the field.
They try for the extra point. It's up there, and it is good. And Memphis now leads by a score of 13-0. Remember, they came in here almost a 3-touchdown underdog. This Tennessee football team has been struggling all year offensively, and now, as of today, we can officially say the defense is struggling. You're watching Tennessee and Memphis on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Back here in Knoxville, Tennessee Volunteers find themselves behind 13-0 to a decided underdog Memphis team. Demetrius Morley will be receiving the kickoff here. And the offense has been struggling all year, but really struggling again in this ball game. The defense, which has stood up all year, really let down in that last drive. I mean, they were actually walking at times down there instead of running.
Sometimes you're right. Looking like they're just going through the motions, but expect John Chavis to get that corrected.
Demetrius Morley, a yard deep into the checkerboard, comes out of there with it. Looking for running room. There's just not much there. They swung him under just shy of the 15-yard line. 15 yards on the return, but give him credit. He was trying.
He was trying, and at the return spot, what you want is you don't want a whole lot of indecision. And Demetrius Morley, a true freshman on this football team, just trying to make something happen.
There's the Tiger scoring drive, and again a look at Terrence at the touchdown.
Very athletic quarterback. Nothing there, able to get outside the pocket, and his legs put him in the end zone.
Tennessee starts out here first down and 10 to go on the 15-yard line. Rick Clausen has come in at quarterback. Rick Clausen, the senior at quarterback. The left-hander looks. He fires. He's got a man out there, complete. Down the sidelines, there's Chris Hammond. Question is, did he step out of bounds? And he did, right around the 36-yard line. 21 yards, so Clausen comes in with a positive play on his first play, and let's see if he can follow up on that.
Nice play-action throw by Rick Clausen, and he's done this a number of times this year. Come off the sideline and ignited this Tennessee offense.
All right, it's now a 1st and 10 situation. nothing doing this time. Flag goes down as the ball is going to be spotted back around the 30. Foster chased down by O.C. Collins, but a flag is down on the play.
Great play by the Memphis defense, and then add the penalty on top of that.
Referee will tell us what the infraction was.
Holding, number 70, offense. Penalty refused. Second down.
After the loss of yardage, they refused the penalty, which was on Cody Douglas, the right guard. 6'4", 330-pounder got caught.
And that's been the story for Tennessee all year. Penalties, miscues, interceptions, bad special teams play, you name it. It's happened in this Tennessee football team.
The option was never given. The penalty will be enforced from the line of scrimmage, 10 yards. Replay, first down.
Well, they're going to step it off against Tennessee, and so it just continues to mount the problems here in Knoxville for the Tennessee Vols, both now offensively and defensively. Well, the defense, which had been a bright spot, has faltered just about as poorly as the offense today. Lawson is now operating at quarterback. He is a senior. Ames, of course, will return next year. John Compton is a youngster who sat out this year with shoulder surgery, but he will be here in the competition next year. There's a long pass intended for perhaps the Tennessee bench, because those are the only players close to it.
I don't know if it's miscommunication or the fact that the ball just floated on Rick Clausen, but both of the Tennessee quarterbacks, when they miss, boy, do they miss. He's throwing for Brett Smith, but that ball is 10 yards beyond Brett Smith.
Brett Smith gave up on that one before it was ever 10 yards away from the quarterback's hand. 9 minutes, 55 seconds to go in the first half. Memphis up 13-0 over a sputtering Tennessee team. Lawson operates out of the shotgun, stands up, looks, throws out in the flat, threw it a little too high. Intended for C.J. Payton, maybe catchable, but had he caught it, there was nowhere to go.
Yes. Memphis defended barreling down on C.J. Payton, so it may be a good thing that he didn't catch this ball.
Probably would have lost yardage. Another look.
Nothing downfield. He's going to go to the dump off to C.J. Payton, and it goes right through his hands.
From ground level, it looks just as bad.
And that's a catchable ball.
9:49 to go. The clock stops. Tennessee looking now at a 3rd and 20. And on third downs, there's your situation. Memphis 2 of 5. Tennessee's zip for 1. Out of the shotgun. Maximum protection. Again, high, wide, and handsome on the throw. C.J. Payton in the neighborhood. And
not even close. Not even close.
Kareem Jabbar could not have caught that one. A look at Fulmer's reaction. And that's for that play and for that season. Brandon McDonald will be standing deep to receive. Memphis should be in real good field position after this kick. Colquitt will stand at his 10-yard line to kick. McDonald comes up, signals for, and takes it on a fair catch at the 35-yard line. Memphis will go and play after the 38-yard punt at that point. 9:33 remaining in the first half in this homecoming battle here in Knoxville. Memphis Tigers 13, Tennessee Volunteers nothing. You're watching CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Back here in Knoxville, there you see the two Tennessee quarterbacks, Eric Ainge and Rick Clausen. Neither man has done anything to speak of in this ball game. They have both been very, very ineffective, and they're trying to figure out why right now. Talking upstairs, maybe to Randy Sanders. Here's Avery back to throw, looking, being chased. He's in trouble. He finally throws it away and wisely gets it out of bounds right in front of the Tennessee coaching staff over there. Harris Harrelson was one of the men running him down.
Harris Harrelson applying the pressure in the Tennessee bench, and they're lobbying for a flag.
There he is, the SEC active career sack leader, a senior. He will be missed. No flag. The referees, officials converged and had a discussion, but there's no flag on the play. Ball will be spotted just across the football length across the 35-yard line. At that point, it becomes 2nd down and 10 to go for the Tigers. Crowd a little bit surly here in Knoxville, and perhaps they have a reason to be. Avery in the shotgun. Hands off to his tailback. Tennessee right on top of this one. Defense looking good there with Paris Harrelson and Kevin Simon. A couple of seniors knocking down Joseph Doss.
Defense playing with a little more sense of urgency, and as I expected, John Chavis probably had a nice conversation with his defense when they went to the sideline. And you see here early in this drive that defense is playing with more spirit.
A little bit more on D'Angelo Williams. He tweaked his ankle against UAB last week. It was limited in practice this week, we're told. It was a game-time decision not to start him. It is uncertain as to whether he will play today. Right now, they don't need him.
Well, you'd have to think that in a game like this, your best football player would want to be on the field, so there's something to the injury to D'Angelo Williams.
Maurice Avery running up the gut. Robert Ayers knocked him down, but he got good yardage. It'll bring up now for Memphis a 4th and 3. Not enough for a first, but almost broke it for an even bigger gain. Michael Gibson will be back to punt. Jonathan Hefney will be back to receive for Tennessee.
And Jonathan Hefney replaces Lucas Taylor, the true freshman who had been returning punts for Tennessee, but in the last 4 ball games, he dropped the ball on the ground in 3 out of 4 last ball games. So Philip Fulmer opting to go with Jonathan Hefney as his return guy.
Hefney fields it, starts up the middle, sees some daylight, gets to the outside. Got one man to beat, and that man closed in on him and knocked him out of bounds, but a terrific return and a spark of life for Tennessee as Jonathan Hefney returns the kick. Brett Russell, the tight end on special teams, made the stop. Another look.
No indecision by Jonathan Hefney. He takes a moment to set up the return and explodes through with a nice pickup, a nice gain.
49-yard punt, a 37-yard return by Jonathan Hefney.
And the Tennessee offense starts with great field position.
Clausen will be operating at quarterback. 7:37 remaining in the first half of play here in Knoxville. Tennessee trailing Memphis 13-0. Pass is complete out in the flat to Corey Anderson, the big fullback, and he gets right at midfield before he is knocked down. He got 7 yards on the carry, on the pass. Corey Anderson's numbers on the year.
And Corey Anderson also one of those guys that they were expecting a lot out of this season based on what he did last season. And his season this year thus far has been a little disappointing also. He laid the ball on the ground in the crucial drive against Alabama and has dropped some passes, some big passes throughout the football season.
That would have been huge plays. There's a nice handoff. Nice run down to the 40-yard line. Tennessee moving with Arian Foster, finally dragged down by the free safety Wesley Smith, but he got 10.
Nice blocking by the Tennessee offensive line. You're going to see Rob Smith out leading for Arian Foster. A good block that allows Foster to break through and pick up a good gain.
Got to have a feeling there was a heart-to-heart talk on the sidelines during that last timeout. We'll see if it pays off right here.
Well, based on the way the quarterbacks have played, I think Tennessee's made a commitment to try to run the football.
They throw long. Receiver there. Touchdown! Joseph Briscoe. Flag goal in the end zone. It may be interference on Memphis. But it appears to be a touchdown to the freshman, Josh Briscoe. Briscoe is 6'3", 174, and really is a burner. You saw it right there.
Defense.
And not
a refuse. Touchdown.
Penalty refused against Memphis, of course. Another look. What's this kid run?
Play action. Not a great throw by Rick Clausen. Josh Briscoe just does a good job of making a play on the football. He fights his way around the defensive back, Brandon McDonald, and makes an exceptional play on the football.
I know what the fans are saying. Hey, let's take a look at some of those freshmen. It's that time. There's the pickup by James Wilhoit. It is good, and Tennessee gets on the board and gets a spark of life here. Thanks to a Clausen to Briscoe pass. Another look at this one.
Play action pass. Rick Clausen's going to throw this ball inside, but Josh Briscoe is going to fight for position to make a play on the ball. And a huge play for the Tennessee offense, and that's what's been missing this year from the Tennessee wide receivers, making plays on the football when the throws aren't that great.
You know, there's not a quarterback that I've ever seen in my life that was perfect on every throw. Even the great Peyton Manning, Joe Montana, Tom Brady, whoever you want to point out. You just throw the ball in the neighborhood sometimes, and the receiver has to go get it. You know that, Terrence.
You do. And at Tennessee, the belief is that if the ball is in the air, it belongs to you. So you compete and you fight for the football, and you win most of the battles when you carry that kind of attitude into the football game.
And if you've got that kind of attitude, it prevents an interception, too.
You're exactly right. I think wide receivers need to be aggressive, and you see the best wide receivers in the game at the NFL level, the Terrell Owens, the Jerry Rice. Those wide receivers are aggressive in going after the football.
Yeah, they're kind of like linebackers. You've got to have a nasty disposition, to be honest with you, to play that position and play it effectively. That was Briscoe's third catch of the season. Boy, did it come at an opportune time. We've got 6:25 remaining in the first half in Knoxville. Tennessee 7, Memphis 13. Happy Mr. Briscoe right here. Now, a look here at him go for the football. This is how you do it.
Not a great throw. Actually, the defensive back has better position and actually grabs Briscoe's arms, but his determination, his concentration, his desire to come up with the play, he comes home with the touchdown.
Well, remember, there was a flag and there was interference, so he still caught it with interference.
Exactly.
And that's that speaks well for the freshman. I'd like to see more of him.
And that's huge for Josh Briscoe, because coming into this ball game, what he was going to be remembered for was the big third down against Georgia, where he laid the ball on the ground and stopped the drive.
That's the longest touchdown play of the season for Tennessee. It covered 39 yards. You know, offense all around this conference is experiencing a down year, not just Tennessee. I don't know that we have any real, like the Mannings and the Joe Namaths and the Bo Jacksons and the Herschel Walkers. Some coaches, and I think Spurrier's one of them, believes more and more of the better players are going on defense right now. But you take Alabama, for instance. Here's a team that is unbeaten, yet they've got 2 wins when they did not score an offensive touchdown. So that just tells you about the offense in this conference in general. Out of the end zone and will be brought in to put in play. Auburn and Georgia renewed the Deep South's oldest rivalry when the two teams met on Saturday in Athens for the 109th time. Catch an SEC showdown between Auburn and Georgia Tuesday at 7 only on CSS. Memphis now, after giving up the touchdown, leading 13-7. Still quite a bit of time in this quarter. 6:25 to go in quarter number 2. Avery keeps it, goes to his left and puts up some positive yardage out to about the 23.5-yard line. Jonathan Hepney ran him out.
Jonathan Hepney's having a nice ball game.
Active day, sure.
Very active day. He's made plays at from the safety position. He sparked the touchdown drive with a nice punt return. So Jonathan Hepney doing all that he can do to try to help Tennessee win today.
Reese Avery's numbers on the day. 8 rushes. Pretty good for a quarterback who used to be a receiver. Memphis really been racked by injuries at that position this year. But they're not complaining. They're plugging along. Here's Avery, keeping it, turning it back against the grain, still fighting for yardage across the 25, 26-yard line before the Orange puts him down, led by Omar Gaither and Jason Hall. 2 yards and really hard-fought yards.
Very hard-fought yards. And as we talked about, John Chavis's defense starting to recognize this offense and just nowhere for Maurice Avery to go.
Right now it becomes a 3rd and 4. Tennessee's defense trying to dig in here. Omar Gaither on the day and on the year. He's a senior. They will miss him. He's one of those 60-minute guys. He doesn't stop.
Play clock down to 3 seconds. They may not get this off.
They apparently did get it off, and they're going to get a first down out of it out to the 35-yard line.
Nice.
Got 9 yards on that play.
Nice pickup by Maurice Avery. A designed quarterback draw in Tennessee, of course, setting up to the defensive pass, and Maurice Avery did a good job of picking up the first down.
Tommy West, who played his college football right here in Tennessee, was there during the Condredge-Holloway era, tight end, and a good baseball player too.
Exactly, and an assistant on Philip Fulmer's staff. So he's in very familiar territory here in Neyland Stadium.
And a good bit of running by Memphis in the middle, all the way up to close to the first down marker before Kevin Simon brings him down. 9-yard pickup for Joseph Doss. Memphis is leading. They were an 18.5 to 19-point underdog with the greatest tailback right now perhaps in the country in D'Angelo Williams. Without him, they're leading in this ball game 13-7. If you just joined us, D'Angelo Williams has not played. He tweaked an ankle against UAB, and they're not 100% sure of his health, so they're holding him out right now. They're trying to sneak for that yard they needed. It's going to be close. Antonio Reynolds got in and submarine Maurice Avery there, and I'm not sure he made it.
I'm not either. The refs may be generous in the spot, but I don't think he made it.
The marker is right on the 45-yard line. You see the ball is just the nose of it touching that. 4 minutes, 14 seconds remaining in the first half. Homecoming in Knoxville. I'm going to guess the crowd. What would you say, Terrence? 96 or 7,000, somewhere in that neighborhood. They probably sold around 105,000 or more tickets, but they're not all here. Tennessee rides him down. Ernest Williams, ridden down by Jonathan Hefney, who right now probably would be the MVP in this ball game.
Jonathan Hefney all over the field for Tennessee, and Tennessee defense will be just doing a good job of shutting down the play.
So it's going to be a second down for Memphis. And about 10 yards to go, no gain on it. Ball at the 45-yard line of the Memphis Tigers. There's Hefney, who has done his part today. 3:18 and the clock running in the first half. Memphis not in any particular hurry right now, sitting on a 13-7 lead. Snap goes back to the quarterback at tailback position, really, and he throws incomplete. It was in the hands of Ryan Scott. Probably should have held on. Tennessee coming over the top that time. Rashawn Fellows, but it goes incomplete.
Rashawn Fellows is in the coverage, but a nice throw by Maurice Avery. He throws this inside, and Ryan Scott should come up with this football. Hits him right in the hands. And maybe Rashawn Fellows is able to get a hand in to break up the pass, but hit Ryan Scott right in the hands.
Eighth play of the drive coming up. There's Rashawn Fellows, sophomore out of Arkansas. Here comes a 3rd and 10. Snap to the quarterback, direct snap, and he's going to come up short of the first down. He did pick up positive yardage before Omar Gaither and Jason Hall closed in on him. He got 6 yards. And remember, he needed 10. So it'll bring up a 4th down for the Memphis Tigers. They will be kicking right now. What a day Kevin Simon is having. 11 tackles already from his middle linebacker spot. You take he and Hall and Hefney off of this defense right now, you could have some real serious problems.
But Kevin Simon is one of those players you never have to question whether or not he's going to bring his A game to the football field. He loves to play football. Does a lot of film study. Works hard in the weight room. He is an old-style football player.
I think we'll be seeing him on Sundays next year. So it's a 4th down and 4, and Michael Gibson will stand back to punt for Memphis. Officials had called a timeout right here.
Number 34, offense, 5 yards.
delay of game, rather meaningless at this stage of the field right here.
And I think it was a design delay of game.
Just to run the clock down.
Yes.
The attendance today, and I'm not sure that there's this many people in here, but these tickets were sold. 106,647.
If they're...
No, maybe not.
I don't think so.
Another flag.
Ball start. Offense. Number 6. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Now, I don't think that was by design.
No, Jermaine Chambers. A little movement right there, and it sets them back 5 more. Now they are putting themselves in a position where Tennessee has a chance to get decent field position with any sort of return.
And you can bet Tommy West right there was not saying, way to go. Great job of executing the play.
Tommy was a tough player, and he's a tough coach. Doing a good job. Jonathan Hefney is standing back at his 18-yard line. Here's the kick away. And it's a nice one. It's going to back Hefney up. And I thought he signaled for a fair catch, and he did.
It's a wonder he doesn't draw a penalty.
He took off after the 53-yard punt. Kind of half-hearted takeoff, but he did start running after signaling for a fair catch.
And most of the times that will draw a penalty. Signal for the fair catch and then running with the football.
Let's take another look at it. There's the fair catch signal.
First,
now, I think I'll run.
2 mistakes on the play. First, he runs after signaling for the fair catch. And second, you're not supposed to catch the ball inside the 10-yard line. You put your heels on the 10-yard line and you let the football go.
He did stop after a couple of steps, so the referee said probably, okay, we'll let it go. 1:56 remaining in the first half. It's Tennessee 7, Memphis 13. Tennessee with their back to the wall. And they just try to run it out of there with Arian Foster. He got 3 yards. Let's see if Tennessee plays it conservative down here and lets the clock run down and tries to regroup at halftime. There's the man who will make the decision on that.
Wisely watching the clock. I think they'll play to take this ball, take it into halftime. The thing you don't want is a turnover in this situation that would give Memphis an opportunity to put more points on the board.
Oh, that would be disastrous, wouldn't it? They've got 2 receivers set out to the right, but you have a feeling they might keep it on the ground. Now Clausen's going to throw it, but it's a safe throw out in the flat to Corey Anderson. And there's what you were talking about earlier. Corey's had a few good plays, but a lot of those types.
Just what we talked about, and that you can attribute a lot of that to lack of concentration.
Starting to run before he caught the ball.
Exactly.
Watch his head.
He turns to see if he can find a defender that's approaching and doesn't concentrate on the football.
Minute 9, clock stopped, that much time remaining, so it's a 3rd and 7. Memphis got a chance to get the ball back here. Tennessee can't pick up the first down. They run the delay up the middle, and they got the first down. Arian Foster, nice bit of running that time, got across the 20 to the 21-yard line, and so it will pick up a first down.
A nice play by Foster, a nice call. They're going to run the draw, and he's going to pick up the first down.
Got 6. Jamal Rufus made the stop for the Tigers.
But unfortunately for Tennessee, Arian Foster leaves the ball game holding his right shoulder.
Oh, my. There he is on the sidelines. Back up, so are Yancey and Corey Williams. Here's the pass complete out to about the 36-yard line to Robert Meacham, who caught it falling down, but stops the clock with 52 seconds to go while they move the chains. 15-yard pickup.
There you see Robert Meacham was the only, or is the only ball receiver with multiple receptions on this year.
Pass a little high, intended for Meacham. He went up one-handed, tried to bring it down, couldn't do it. Tennessee still got some time. They got 43 seconds. Of course, the incomplete pass stops the clock. Another look at it.
He's working the inside, going to run the seam route and just outside of his outstretched left hand.
Tennessee and Memphis, 18-1 edge in the series in favor of the Vols. But Memphis is not thinking about the past, they're thinking about the present here and trying to pull the upset today. And right now they're leading. 3 receivers to the right, bottom of your screen, 1 to the top. Clausen's going to look to his left and throw out in the flat, trying to get some blocking set up. And there's not much there. Jason Swain, a little bit of yardage, but Tennessee calls a quick timeout, giving them 35 more seconds to go.
Tennessee.
After this ball game, Tennessee catches Vanderbilt in here, then goes to Kentucky. Memphis has Marshall and Southern Miss. Southern Miss and Marshall actually in that order remaining on their schedule. Can the Tennessee Volunteers finish the season on a high note with wins over SEC foes Vanderbilt and Kentucky? We'll get the latest Tennessee football news and highlights on the Philip Fulmer Show, Mondays at 7 o'clock on CSS. There is the head coach, a man who's got to make a lot of tough decisions at the end of the season. And you know, right now it's not a good time to make those decisions because you're in the midst of looking at your recruiting situation. Eric Ainge, number 10, who started this ball game, was ineffective. Rick Clausen, who came on and has had a couple of moments of being effective.
And this Tennessee offense here in the last minute of this ball game has really showed some life. You wonder where that...
There's Randy Sanders, who used to call the plays from his position on the sideline as offensive coordinator. He resigned that position. He's still on the staff and working upstairs right now. All right, Tennessee trying to get something mounted, even to try to get into field goal range with 35 seconds to go. See if they try to get it all on one play. Clausen stands back, throws, and it's complete to Jason Swain, who is out of bounds. He got about 6 yards on the pickup. Took 5 seconds off the clock. O.C. Collins made the stop for Memphis.
Nice job, Jason Swain, of working inside.
Jason Swain on the year. He's been one of the more effective receivers. Probably physically the strongest of the receivers. Clausen will operate out of the shotgun. Got 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. They spread the field. Got some protection. Throws. It's complete to Anderson. Anderson still on his feet. The big guy rumbles and rambles down inside the 30 before he's finally knocked down. 22 yards on the pickup and 21 seconds remaining in the first half.
Nice job of protecting by the Tennessee offensive line. Rick Clausen has plenty of time. He throws to Anderson, and this time he brings it home.
Little jump action right there. Clausen. Players around his feet. He gets the pass off once again to Anderson. Anderson is knocked down, but he got positive yardage. 9 seconds to go. And now you call a timeout and make a decision. Got 6 yards on that play. Well, the big guy who looked pretty bad on one pass comes back and looks pretty good on 2 others.
Second timeout.
Looks very good on this play. This ball's thrown behind Corey Anderson, and he does a pirouette and brings this ball home. It's going to be thrown behind him, and you see the athletic ability to get up and around and bring this ball home.
So we've got 9 seconds remaining in the first half. By the way, if you're thinking about basketball, you'll hear from the new Tennessee basketball coach, Bruce Pearl, at halftime. And I'm sure, speaking of basketball, that Memphis will be good. They always are. Calipari, I thought, has got a very good team down in Memphis this year. And we'll have other halftime activities for you as well. This is homecoming, and right now the old grads are probably in not very good mood, but they have a chance here to wind up the day on a happy note, but it's going to take a real effort because Memphis came to play today, and it's reflected on the scoreboard right now. The Tigers 13-7. How many coaching changes do you think will be made, if any, Terrence? I don't need to name positions, but
it's hard to tell. I don't want to speculate. Who knows what Philip Fulmer's going to do? after this football season. I think his main concern is trying to do whatever he can do to prepare his team to win the next 3 ball games, this one included.
Will Hoyt's hit 6 out of 7 of his last field goals, and they're going to bypass the field goal. Clausen throws. Touchdown, C.J. Payton. Good call. We all made that call, didn't we?
A huge gamble by Philip Fulmer.
Well, what do you got to lose? And it worked.
C.J. Payton working inside, is going to get inside of the defender and takes it right to the checkerboard end zone.
So Tennessee has a chance to go after falling down behind. They have a chance to go into the dressing room with a 1-point lead here on Will Hoyt's extra point. 4 seconds to go in the first half of play. That's the time when the touchdown came from Clausen to Payton. The kick is up there, and it is good. So Tennessee takes the lead, 14-13. There's a relieved Rick Clausen, who did get something accomplished on that drive. Another look.
Nice protection, good throw. Payton's going to run a good route. Man coverage inside of the DB.
That's what we're talking about, of fighting for the football, reaching for it, going for it, not giving up on it.
Hungry for the football. Not a perfectly thrown pass, but he reaches out and brings it home. And this Tennessee offense, this drive, we have seen glimpses of this type of offense all year. But then you see that Tennessee offense that sputters, that shoots itself in the foot, that turns the football over. Just amazing with a minute and a half to go until halftime what this offense was able to do to drive this ball down the field and put it in the end zone.
D'Angelo Williams has not played in the first half, the great running back for Memphis, who leads the nation in rushing, and yet they're still only a point behind. And it appeared that Arian Foster left the game with a little bit of a shoulder problem. We'll try to find out at halftime the extent of that for you, because those could be 2 big factors in the second half of this football game. Memphis has got time to receive the kickoff, and that will end the first half. Will Hoyt will be kicking off with 4 seconds remaining in the first half. Here in Knoxville, the shadows completely cover the field, but not all of the stands right now. It's a short kick, and Memphis will have to fall on it, but really, according to the clock, runs nothing off. So they've still got 4 seconds to go.
4 seconds, and my guess they'll take a knee. Almost a costly miscue there on the kickoff. 2 guys fighting for the football. And there's D'Angelo Williams. You have to believe that he hasn't been on the field in the first half, so you don't think that he'll come back in the second half.
Well, here's a guy who's had a great career. You don't want to take a chance on re-injuring him here. It could hurt not only the final 2 games of the year, but his career as an NFL player. So they just let it run out right here, and that's the end of the first half. So I think it's a pretty good decision on Tommy West's part, if you have any doubts at all about a guy of that caliber. Well, it's been, shall we say, kind of a strange first half. Tennessee's had their moments of being very lethargic on defense. Then they came back and played some pretty good defense. Same thing with the offense. Memphis has fought hard and led right up until the final few seconds. Tennessee 14, Memphis 13 at halftime. You're watching CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Tennessee 14, Tigers 13. Tigers led most of the way, and Tennessee gambled on what we all thought would be a field goal attempt at the end of the half, completed a touchdown from Clausen to C.J. Payton for the go-ahead touchdown. Rushing yardage, there you see it. Tennessee not much in that department. And passing yardage, well, both teams have had better days, but I tell you what, Memphis, operating with their 4th quarterback of the year, Avery, did a great job in that first half. And Tennessee did a great job in coming back. And so there we see panoramic view of Big Neyland Stadium.
Let's take a look at the first half highlights. Eric Ainge throwing the ball without getting his feet set, and Brian McDonald comes up with a huge interception and a big spark for the Memphis Tigers. That led to the first Memphis field goal right here, and they go up 3-0 on Tennessee. And the crowd here at Neyland Stadium was quiet for a lot of the first quarter. Here, Memphis in the first half was also making plays. You see Maurice Jones able to make the play on the pass, and here Maurice Avery finds his way to the end zone, and Memphis goes up 10-0. Tennessee needed a spark, and Jonathan Heffney applied that spark with his punt return that really put some life into the Tennessee offense. Here, Josh Briscoe fights for the pass, and Tennessee comes up with his first touchdown. And before the end of the half, the Tennessee offense started to put together a series of plays. They were playing for a field goal, but found themselves in a position to be able to convert. C.J. Payton takes it in the end zone, and Tennessee's offense, although lethargic in most of the first half, is able to put some points on the board and go in leading at halftime.
All right, back to the action, the kickoff. And the second half is underway. Tennessee fighting to get out of a hole down there, and it's not a good start. Kind of bobbled in the end zone, and Tennessee will start with their back to the wall, as they say. But they have been there before. Haynes started this ball game. Clausen has relieved him. And probably the way Clausen played late in that first half, we probably will see him the rest of the way.
I would agree with you. I think Philip Fulmer and the offensive staff really wanted to allow Eric Ames to be able to have the rest of the football season, but his productivity and his efficiency, they just weren't going to be able to get it done.
Foster not able to get much on that one, trying to bounce outside. Wesley Smith comes up from free safety and makes the stop. So Tennessee finds themselves at the 15-yard line, looking at a 2nd and 7. Clausen's first half numbers, 9 of 14, and very effective, especially after he settled down. He came out looking a little shaky himself, but then settled down and played pretty effective. They pitch it back to Foster. He cuts back. There's not much there, maybe a yard. That's about all. As Tim Goodwell from linebacker position closed it down. There are the possessions for Tennessee in the first half. Punt, interception, punt, then a couple of touchdowns. As you see, as the half progressed, they did settle down. The defense even went through a span in the first half when they looked a little bit slow and lethargic, but they picked it up as the offense picked it up.
And hats off to Rick Clausen. He's really started to improve as he's been in the ballgame. Probably coming into this ballgame during the week, he didn't get a whole lot of snaps. Probably most of the snaps went to Eric Haynes.
3 receivers to his left. He throws crossing the middle to Corey Anderson, and he dropped it. Anderson has a couple of drops and a couple of good catches, and that's kind of mirrors his season.
Very much mirrors his season, and I think if you'll watch here, the ball is right in his hands, but he's going to quickly look to find the defender. And just that little glance to find the defender, you lose concentration and you drop the football.
So Tennessee has to punt from their goal line, giving Memphis a chance for great field position early seconds of the second half. And that's what they did not want to do, and it's exactly what Memphis wanted to do. So here's the kick by Colquitt, and they got away from it, let it bounce out of bounds. So Memphis will be pretty close to midfield, in great field position to start the second half. The story in this ball game so far, one of the big stories, has been D'Angelo Williams, who leads the nation in rushing, 184 yards per game. There he is not playing. He had a tender ankle coming in. They decided not to take a chance on it. He did go through the warm-ups, but he has not played yet. They led most of the first half without him and trail by only a point right now. So they take over in very good field position at their 47-yard line. First down and 10 to go. Maurice Avery has gone all the way at quarterback for the Tigers.
And Tennessee offensively goes into halftime on a high note. They drive the ball down the field, put it in the end zone, but the first possession of this half, they look lethargic. Not a whole lot going for them.
Avery seemed to be changing the play. Pitches inside. They've run that play about 3 or 4 times today. A little pitch inside, and Ernest Williams picks up a little bit of yardage on it before he is knocked down hard by Jason Mitchell.
And if I'm Ernest Williams, I go to the sideline and say, hey, listen, I think they know that play is coming. Let's not run that play again.
Avery's numbers on the first half, 7 of 15, 83 yards. He also scored one on his own and looked very good athletically on several plays. Early seconds of the third quarter here in Knoxville. Maurice Avery looking, throwing, complete, wide open. Down to the 40-yard line, and the 39 goes Ryan Scott before Tennessee's Rashawn Fellows brings him down. He got 10 yards. Tigers possessions in the first half. Punt, but they had those 2 field goals, then a touchdown, and wound up with Tennessee playing pretty good defense and forcing Memphis to punt twice. Tennessee got a very little on their kickoff return to start the second half, and then had to punt, leaving Memphis in good field position. Started about their 47-yard line, and here they are in the Tennessee 39. Avery, a delay to the tailback. Tennessee spins him down. Joseph Doss, after he fights for a couple of hard-earned yards. Jason Mitchell was once again in on the tackle, as he's been in on many today. He and Simon have made a ton of hits today for Tennessee.
They have, and they've done a good job of wrapping up Doss. Doss looked very good in the first quarter, but the Tennessee defense has done a good job of corralling him since early in the ballgame. 2nd
down and 7. Avery being rushed, being pursued. He's got good speed. He runs out of bounds, though, without gaining a whole lot. Tennessee really chasing him that time. Jason Mitchell, Paris Harrelson.
Good pressure by the Tennessee defense, and the University of Memphis offensively, they're challenging Tennessee more vertically here in the second half. In the first half, they were using a lot of crossing routes, giving Avery some lanes to throw the ball, and now they're challenging Tennessee vertically, and he doesn't have a whole lot of time to throw the football.
Here comes a big down, 3rd down and 8 at the 37 of Tennessee for the Memphis Tigers. They have a chance to become bowl eligible in these final 3 games of the season for them. The snap, Avery stands up and throws, got his man. And a slap down the side to Ryan Scott, big play, 17 yards. Tennessee unable to stop him. Rashawn Fellows, Jonathan Hepney there defensively, but not in position. And Scott hauls it in for the big game.
A nice route by Ryan Scott, and he's a big wide receiver, 6'4", working against a smaller Rashawn Fellows, and he gets inside, and Maurice Avery does a good job of throwing the ball where only he can catch it.
So Memphis is on the Tennessee 20-yard line with a 1st down and 10 yards to go to start the second half of play. Avery will operate from the gun. They like to run that reverse, and Tennessee busted it up, waiting for it. They run it one time too many. Now Tennessee fumbles it, and let's see who comes up with it. Memphis. Tennessee had it, lost it, then Memphis got it back. Wow, what a strange play. This one's going to take a little bit to sort out, but the bottom line is Memphis has got the football, but instead of being on their 20-yard line, they're back now on their own 49 yards.
Good job by Omar Gaither of just blowing up the play. And Paris Harrelson is going to try to pick it up and run with it, and he can't do it successfully, so Memphis is able to recover the football.
So it becomes a 1st and 10 again with the exchange. Tennessee having it, lost it, Memphis getting it back. So it's 1st down and 10, but instead, as I said, on the 20-yard line, in that neighborhood, it is back on the Memphis side of the field on the 49. 10:48 to go in this 3rd quarter of play. Memphis trailing Tennessee by 1. They hand it off, the delay in the middle, and pretty good yardage picked up by Joseph Doss. He crossed from the 49 down to about a 4-yard gain. Kevin Simon made the stop. Another look, and had Harrelson been able to pick this one up, it would have been maybe a game turner.
You wonder if Paris Harrelson is coached in that situation to fall on the football and just secure the football.
Omar Gaither is the man, I believe, shaken up on this play, and or they can ill afford to lose him.
You're exactly right, because Tennessee is woefully thin at the linebacker spot. So, and Omar Gaither is one of your better linebackers and one of your leaders on the defense. So it's a good sign to see him get up.
I think he gives indications he probably will be back, because he leaves, as you see right there, jogging off the field. Simon, who's played such a great game, is not 100% himself, but and they lose all of these starting linebackers this year, Terrence, so that's going to be in the offseason and spring, something recruiting season, something they've really got to work on.
You're right, and Jared Mayo has been lost to a knee injury for the season, and so they're pretty thin once you get below that their starting 3 at linebacker.
There's a good shot of Avery, who has gone all the way at quarterback and has done a good job for Memphis. Looking now to 2nd down and 6. They run the delay once again. It's going to be close to a first down. Looks like he is right on the mark. Kevin Simon brought him down after a 6-yard pickup. The delay's been their favorite play today.
And it's been very effective, and looks like they're going to give him a generous spot, and he picks up the first down.
Ball is on the 41-yard line. Another look at it.
Very effective, as you said, in running the delay. One reason is that Tennessee defensive ends get up the field so fast. Jason Hall and Paris Harrelson are so fast that that delay allows some running lanes inside your defensive ends.
First down and 10 to go for Memphis. Direct snap to the quarterback in shotgun position. This time they pick up only a yard, though, as Doss was hit by Tony McDaniel. Left tackle brought him down for the Volunteers. Been a gorgeous day here for homecoming in Knoxville. Hard-fought game, and who knows, this one can go either way, so should go right to the end the way they're playing right now, both teams. 9 minutes, 9 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Avery looks to the sidelines, gets a call over there. Has 2 receivers set to the top of your screen, no one to the left, and he runs left. And runs for about 3 yards or so before he is dropped by Antoine Stewart. Give him 3. Kid weighs about 215 pounds, very solid build. Actually looks a little heavier than that.
Yeah, he looks like a running back playing quarterback, but he's been very effective. If you think about coming into this ball game, he was their 4th-string quarterback. I've been very impressed with his play thus far today.
3rd down and 5. Look for a delay or maybe a little slant. Been 2 of their favorite plays when they get in a position like this. He rolls to his right. Tennessee puts the pressure on him. The long throw. Tennessee will break it up, I believe. He caught it, but I think he was out of bounds. Maurice Jones, number 80, was the man intended for. There's a flag back up here at midfield, and a Tennessee player.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 2 defense. 15 yards. First down.
Kevin Simon caught for the personal foul. There's the catch, but as you can see, he's out of bounds, and so that would have been a good play for Tennessee. But then you have the personal foul, the 15-yard marker off, the automatic first down. Simon accused of slapping the player, I guess, in the headgear.
And Philip Former knows Kevin Simon is his own worst critic, and he knows what that penalty means to his football team.
Tremendous break for Memphis. A horrible mistake for Tennessee. Avery, they run that delay again, and Tennessee's waiting for it. Knocks him down on the 20-yard line. Tony McDaniel and Robert Ayers were in defensively.
You're going to see Kevin Simon come in and take a shot at Maurice Avery after he's delivered the football. And maybe that's some of the frustration that this defense hasn't shown all year, starting to come out in this ballgame.
So it leaves Memphis in great position to take the lead, even with a field goal here. But right now they're thinking touchdown. 2nd down and 9, just a shade inside the 20-yard line. Everybody jumps. Question is who jumped first, and looks like it might have been motion.
Offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Andrew Handy, the left guard, was the man who jumped, number 75 for the Memphis Tigers. So it walks off 5. Makes it now 2nd down and 14. Vanderbilt comes to town next week, and Tennessee closes out the home schedule. And then their season schedule closer is in Lexington, Kentucky in November, which usually is about 100 degrees below zero. And Terrence, bundle up, buddy. Out of the shotgun, Avery being pursued, throws back against the grain, looking for an opening, got some yardage. John Doucette down almost to the 15-yard line. Jason Mitchell made another tackle, yet another for Tennessee today.
Good call by Memphis, and a nice job by Jason Mitchell and the Tennessee defense of staying at home. Robert Ayers does a good job of staying at home and making the play.
They say the knee went down along about the 17-yard line. Omar Gaither out for the game. Right knee injury, we're told, so Omar Gaither will not be back. Now it becomes a 3rd down and 6. Huge for both the offense and defense right here. Avery will go to the gun. Lob it, timing pattern, incomplete. And so we probably will have a field goal attempt right here.
Yes, they're trying to work Ryan Scott against Rashawn Fellows, and Ryan Scott's going to he's going to get away with the push in the back trying to make the play.
Omar Gaither, we're told they're evaluating the right knee injury. Gostowski will come in and try the field goal. It'll be a 34-yard effort. Closer to the 35. They'll set it down, and the kick is on the way. It is up there. It is good, and Memphis has reclaimed the lead here in Knoxville, 16-14 over the Vols. This is all a very strange sequence here. Fumble, then another fumble, and Memphis wound up with the football. You're watching college football on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Back here in Knoxville on a great day for football, and a beautiful day in East Tennessee. And we've still got a football game, and I have a feeling it's going to go to the final whistle. Vols must win all 3 remaining games to keep 16-year bold streak alive. And right now it is hanging by a thread. Memphis leading 16-14, and they've got the football. They run it up the middle this time, and Joseph Doss picks up some yardage before Jason Hall and Omar Gaither brought him down. Memphis has got to win 2 of 3. They'd have to win this one or their next 2. They've got Southern Miss and Marshall.
I think they would become bowl eligible with 6 wins, but I don't think a 6-5 Memphis team is guaranteed an invitation to a bowl game. I think a 6-5 Tennessee team is almost guaranteed an invitation to a bowl game. So Memphis really needs to win the remainder of their ball games, including this one.
One more at home. Here's the cutback. Nice bit of running that time up across the 25 to about the 27 or 8-yard line, closer to the 27. Goes the runner, Avery, and Paris Harrelson again made the stop. They only went about 7 yards on that one.
A nice job by Avery. This is a designed run, get him out on the edges, and he does a good job of cutting back and finding a lane, picking up a nice first down.
First down and 10 to go. Avery's numbers on the day. Pretty good running back. Started as a receiver due to injuries, wound up playing quarterback, the 4th man to play that position this year for Memphis. They run the delay again. Again, they bounce it outside and get a little bit of yardage. Omar Gaither, for the umpteenth time today, is in on the tackle of James Doss.
And that's the same Omar Gaither that we said we wouldn't see.
Yep.
Again in this ball game.
Probably through for the day. Omar is a senior, and he is not through. There's the great D'Angelo Williams, who's still watching from the sidelines. They decided not to take a chance because of a tweaked ankle against UAB last week. Held out of practice a day or 2, then did practice, and they just didn't feel comfortable playing him today and taking that chance. 2nd down and 9 for Memphis. Avery out of the gun. And plenty of time. Still got time. Races out to his right now. It's a little bit of pressure and throws it into the ground. Incomplete. Intended for, in the neighborhood at least, Ryan Scott. We're in the final seconds of the 3rd quarter. Been a fast-moving quarter. Only got a half a minute to go. And Tennessee trails Memphis 16-14.
For a wide receiver that's been converted to quarterback, Maurice Avery makes some very good decisions.
Memphis 4 for 10 on third downs in this ball game. Avery is a senior, by the way. Stands back there in the shotgun. Gets a little pressure, but gets it away too high. Tennessee had it covered pretty well, but threw it too high for both the defender and the receiver. Maurice Jones being guarded by Rashawn Fellows. So Memphis will have to turn it over now to Tennessee. Jonathan Hefty will be the man back to receive. And the Vols have a chance to get fairly decent field position. And you never know, they have a chance to get really great field position with a great return.
And it was Jonathan Hefty who sparked the Tennessee offense in the first half with a great punt return.
Gibson will stand at his 15-yard line to kick. Hefty has the big play ability. First thing coaches teach at Tennessee, that is catch the football. And he is going to come up and catch it and go down immediately in his tracks. But it's on about the 32 or 3-yard line, so Tennessee will start off fairly decent. It's a 40-yard kick. 16 seconds remaining in this quarter. Tennessee trailing Memphis 16-14. You are watching college football on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. All right, we got just a few ticks remaining here in this third quarter. Arian Foster is back at tailback right now. Tennessee, I think, is thinking pass right here. Rick Clausen going down the sidelines incomplete. Kind of threw it away, I assume, because Robert Mitchell was 10 yards downfield further than the pass landed. So stops the clock with 11 seconds to go. Tennessee can come up with one decent play, but they can't put them together here. That's the problem they're having offensively. They can't string anything together.
And it's interesting. The big question coming into this football season was who was going to be the starting quarterback for the University of Tennessee. And in game 9 of this football season, I think that's still
the question.
The question is who is the quarterback for the University of Tennessee?
Ball is snapped on the ground, and Wilson has to reach down and fall on it. Then Memphis falls on him, so that kind of says a lot about Tennessee's season right there on that play, and that reaction by Philip Fulmer tells you all you need to know about what kind of year it's been.
A normally well-composed Philip Fulmer is starting to show some of the frustration that he's feeling about the way his team has played throughout this football season.
We'll take a break as we end 3 quarters of play in Knoxville. Tennessee 14, Memphis 16. You're watching college football on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. All right, one more quarter of football in Knoxville. Tennessee finds themselves behind by 2 points. Right now, they're looking at a 3rd and 15 to start this quarter. They're 3 for 8. On third downs in this ball game. Clausen's got 4 receivers, 2 on each side. Got to go downfield at least 15 yards for this one. He's going down all right, but it's not downfield. Carlton Baker was the man who got in on him first.
He's going to get tied up with Albert Towina, the right tackle, and not even had a chance of making the play downfield.
Another look at it, you'll see the problems that Clausen encountered right here.
So feet tangled up with Albert Towina and goes down.
They've got to kick. Colquitt is going to give Memphis maybe a chance for good field position. He gets a kick away. It's a nice one. It's taken by Memphis and nowhere to go. Flags fly over here on the side. We saw the field judge toss one. Punt covers 40 yards. We'll see what the infraction is. Conference USA referee Detillier will tell us what the call is just a second. We just started the 4th quarter of play. Tennessee came into this one knowing they had to win all 3 of their remaining games to become bowl eligible. They've got excited Vanderbilt team coming in here next week, a team that carried Florida into double overtime in Gainesville, their last outing. Or, well, they're playing Kentucky today. And then Tennessee's got to go to Kentucky. And you know both of those teams smell blood in the water.
Not only an excited Vanderbilt team.
Holding. Number 26, receiving team. The foul happened 3 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. By rule, that's a PSK foul. That'll be marked off from the end of the kick, 10 yards, Memphis ball, first down.
Well, the referee's explanation, Memphis has the football after the 40-yard punt and the 10-yard penalty. You're watching Tennessee and Memphis on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Memphis 16, Tennessee 14 with 14:10 to go. The Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets have posted 3 consecutive victories. Will they have earned a road win over ACC foe Virginia? And Georgia Tech takes on Virginia Tuesday at 9 only on CSS. 14 minutes, 10 seconds to go for Tennessee to try to pull out a homecoming win over a heavy underdog Memphis, and a chance for Memphis to win their second game in history over the Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee leads the series 18-1, but Memphis has led a good part of this football game. Right now they have the ball. Tennessee's really struggling and sputtering on defense, on offense, so it's up to the defense to try to maybe come up with a big play here. Avery being chased. Runs to his right, still running, and finally throws incomplete behind everybody, just really trying to get rid of the football and not take a big loss. Taz Knockham was the man in the neighborhood. Terrence, let's take a look at the third quarter stats. After you look at them, you still see Memphis leading.
The thing that's glaring there is the time of possession. 28 minutes to 16 minutes. In the second half, Tennessee's offense just hadn't been on the field. There have been a lot of 3 and outs for the Tennessee offense in the second half.
Well, that is staggering, that stat. Here's a cutback. Tennessee defense this time smothers him. Tony McDaniel all over Doss. In fact, he lost a yard.
The great thing for Tennessee, though, is their defense is going to have to, like you said, keep them in this football game. And if you're Tennessee, your defense plays really well. All you need is a field goal, and then for your defense to take a stand, and you can win this ball game.
Third down, 11 now to go. There's Johnny Chavis, the defensive coordinator, trying to encourage his troops to hold and force the Tigers to punt. Avery wants to throw, throws it out in the flat, incomplete. Intended for Robinson, but a little bit behind him that time. So the Tigers will have to turn it over to Tennessee. That's good news for Tennessee. The bad news is they get the football. They haven't been able to do anything offensively.
Avery had plenty of time to throw the football, just throws it behind, but still wouldn't have picked up the first down.
Tennessee's going to use 2 men back this time. Austin Rogers is back there with Jonathan Hefney. Austin Rogers is a receiver, a youngster out of the Nashville area. Snap is good. Steps to his right and kicks it away. And Tennessee kind of gets away from it wisely and lets it go out of bounds. Rogers decided not to try to field that, and that was a good decision on his part. 43-yard punt with no return. 13-10 remaining. There's a timeout. Memphis 16, Tennessee 14. Watching CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Back here in Knoxville, there's the scoreboard. Tennessee trailing by 2. Arian Foster is in at tailback now. Clausen remains the quarterback. And Tennessee takes over on the 30-yard line, their own 30. Needing at least a field goal to take the lead. Clausen hands off to Foster. Foster dances around. Well, it turns nothing into a little something. He had 4 yards out of what looked like would be 0. Spurlock, Michael Spurlock, linebacker on the inside, made the stop that time. There's Arian.
Nice cut by Arian Foster. Shows really good agility. As you said, it looks like he's going to be stopped for a loss, but able to cut back and pick up the first down.
I'm not sure you're going to get it.
I'm sorry, second down.
Not sure you're going to get it on the ground done, but with only 12 minutes to go, but they're going to stay on the ground right here. And that's what I'm talking about. Tim Goodwell made the stop. Lost 3. It appears to me right now this is a team and coaching staff that does not trust the passing game at all.
Well, I think, you know, you get into these situations, you'd like to be able to throw the football, but then you worry about the fact that your quarterbacks have been very inconsistent.
Turning it over.
And so you turn the ball over to Memphis in this situation, and you dig a big hole.
Foster leads the field right now. And Tennessee facing a 3rd and 9. They'll operate out of the shotgun, and you got to throw it. Memphis knows that. They do throw it. Got away with it. And got a big play out of it to C.J. Bateman, who has a touchdown pass here today. C.J. goes off limping now after being hit by Michael Spurlock. He got 16 yards, though, and he moved the chains. Seems to be in some pain as he goes to the sidelines. Probably an ankle the way he was walking.
A nice job by C.J. Fading of catching the ball and then finding the lane and getting straight up field for the first down. I can't see where his injury came in at, but
there he is, limping, but not that badly. Trying to walk it off, as a matter of fact. Might even see him again. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. They run the delay in the middle. Bounce it outside, and it's going to be close to another first down for Tennessee. Arian Foster got about 10, it appears. Jamal Rufus made the stop for Memphis. It is, they're going to move the chains again. Let's take another look. A good running here. Watch him dance around.
Nice job, as you said, of scraping down the line and finding a lane and picking up a nice 10 yards.
Turned nothing really into 10 yards. 11:02 to go. Clock running. Tennessee trailing Memphis 16-14. Homecoming for the Vols. Got to keep winning to get in the bowl game. They fake it to the tailback. They throw down the sideline. Complete. Nice throw by Clausen. Beautiful throw to Robert Meacham. 23-yard strike. Wow, that was one of the best passes I've seen Clausen throw in his years here in Tennessee.
Nice rope play action, and he, as you said, he throws this on a rope, and Robert Meacham does a good job of losing the defender. They're in man coverage. He runs a deep comeback. He does a good job of losing the defender.
First down and 10 to go. Tennessee at least getting in field goal range right now, but thinking touchdown. Trailing Memphis by 2. Ball on the 20-yard line. First down and 10. Closer to the 19. They go in the corner for Chris Hannon, trying to get it over the back of the defender and bring it in right on the end line over there, but couldn't quite do it. Jamal Rufus was back there defending. Chris Hannon, intended receiver, another look.
One-on-one outside with Chris Hannon, and just too far outside.
Ball is close to the 19-yard line. Second down and 10. Second and 10. Thing you here don't want to do is lose any yardage.
Lose any yardage, and you definitely don't want a turnover.
Listen, they give it off to Foster. Foster is looking for something, and there's not anything there. He's going to be driven down for no gain. LaVale Washington, right in defensively, was there. It would not be so frustrating for Tennessee had the Vols maybe been picked somewhere in the middle of the pack in the SEC. But the expectations for this team were so high. Number 3 in the nation, picked to win the SEC. And many, many bad things have happened. There's timeout by Tennessee with 10:05 remaining in the contest. Still anybody's ball game. Memphis, though, leading right now 16-14. And you are watching college football on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Back in Knoxville, Tennessee band trying to do their part. Memphis, though, leading 16-14. 10 minutes, 5 seconds to go. Here comes a big down, 3rd and 9. Tennessee's got to get 9 for a first. I would look for C.J. Payton here. I think he's back in the lineup after looking off earlier. But that might be the man to go to. And Memphis knows that too. They're 4 for 10 on 3rd down. Crossing under center. Back. Got time. Now time's running out. Gonna have to run and throw on the run. It's complete. Down to the 10-yard line. It's going to be close. Not quite a first down. Arian Foster stumbling and falling. He might have gotten the first if he kept his feet. He would have, but he did not, and he's going to come up at least a yard, maybe 2 yards short of a first down. Now, what do you do? You have to kick it.
They're going to kick it. That's the season in a nutshell for Tennessee.
First down, maybe more, who knows, but stumbling and falling.
Clausen did a good job of keeping the play alive, and Arian Foster just loses his footing.
It'll be a 28-yard effort by Will Hoyt to take the lead, but we've still got 9:17 to go in this football game. The snap, it's clean, it's good, it's up, and the kick is good. Tennessee takes the lead, 17-16. Oh, what a day here in Knoxville. A touchdown there would might have put it away, but I tell you what, Memphis is very capable of moving right back downfield and either kicking a field goal or getting on the scoreboard with a touchdown. So this one, with 9 minutes 6 seconds, is far from over. The kick, it's clean and good all the way by Will Hoyt. Reaction of the head coach.
He breathes a sigh of relief.
Yeah. He's thinking, I wanted a touchdown, but I'll take that.
A touchdown really puts you in a good situation.
Tennessee with a 1-point lead, 9 minutes 6 seconds to go in the contest here in Knoxville. One more home game for the Vols against Vanderbilt. Then the final against Kentucky, their oldest rival, up in Lexington at the end of the season. They got to win them all if they want to be bowl eligible. 9 plays, 59 yards, took 4:04 off the clock. Will Hoyt 28 yards out for the go-ahead score. Tennessee trying to win these final 3 and take away a bit, just a tiny bit of the frustration of this year.
And you talked about earlier Tennessee's record at this point in the season. What they do in November is astonishing, but Memphis, Vanderbilt, and Kentucky are still difficult ball games for Tennessee.
You bet they are. Cutler is a really outstanding quarterback that we're facing next week. Here's the kick. It's going to be down to and into the checkerboard. And Memphis will not even attempt to bring it out of there. Wisely, it'll be put on the 20-yard line where they'll go to work, trailing now by 1 point, 17-16.
For Tennessee today offensively, big plays have really created momentum for their offense, and that's one of the big plays on that drive. The throw to Robert Meacham allows Tennessee to put 3 points on the board.
Tennessee, since 1985, in a November situation. Tennessee smothers the ball carrier this time. There's nothing there. In fact, they lost a yard. A little more life we're seeing there on the defense, led by Marvin Mitchell, hitting Joseph Dawson. I'll tell you what, Mitchell and Simon have really been outstanding. Harrelson and Hall have played well. Omar Gaither.
That shovel,
guys have really stood out today.
Shovel pass, and Marvin Mitchell said, "Welcome to Knoxville, Joseph Dawson."
No more shovel. Second down and 10. Avery back, and quickly a whistle blows. A flag is down, and it looks like movement on the part of Memphis, which is probably going to cost them 5 right here. At least that's our assessment. Let's see if he
Ball
agrees.
start. 83. Offense. 5 yards. Second down.
On the West, a little disgusted with that. Ryan Scott was the man who moved a little early that time, and it cost him back to the 15-yard line. Makes it second down, but this time 15 yards to go for a first.
And probably a good thing for Memphis, because Omar Gaither was making a beeline to Mari Savory. He was coming on a blitz, making a beeline to the quarterback.
Penalties on the day. Memphis 6 for 45. Tennessee 4 for 40. Avery in the shotgun. Should be pass all the way. And Tennessee gets to him and makes him throw it off the mark. Jesse Mahaluna was all over him that time, and he had to get rid of it.
Memphis has had success with Mari Savory, putting him out on the edges, rolling him out, throwing the football. They've decided in the second half to keep him inside the pocket, and the pressure is getting to him. He's just not comfortable. He's not a pocket passer.
Remarkable thing again, there's the third down situations about Memphis is there in this ball game without their best player, D'Angelo Williams. It's a 3rd and 15. They're going to send a lot of people downfield this time, and Tennessee knows that. Tennessee they're backing off on the blitz. They're trying to cover everybody, keep him in the pocket, and they do. They kept him contained. He got 3 yards, but he needed a lot more. Omar Gaither, Jason Hall, 2 real stalwarts today defensively for Tennessee. Brings up a 4th down and 11.
And a good stand by John Chavis's defense. Nothing for Mari Savory. I think it's a quarterback run by design, and the defense really bows his back.
That was a great call, really, because he could have thrown, they could have run. So Chavis just said, I'm not blitzing. I'm going to sit back, try to contain him. And that's what they did. And now Tennessee has a chance. There's Chavis. Tennessee has a chance to get in good field position. Austin Rogers, Jonathan Hepney are deep to receive the punt. Hunter is standing here on about his 5-yard line and takes the step to the right as they normally do. And it's fielded by Tennessee on a fair catch by Jonathan Hepney. Good move that time. Tennessee takes over in a good spot on the 46-yard line. 35-yard punt. So Clausen and company go to work now.
Great job.
6:56 to go in this football game. College football game day kicks off with Bubba Burger Southeastern football today, Saturday at 11. Heisman Trophy winner Gino Torretta, former Tennessee Vol Bubba Miller, and host Frank Franchi preview top ACC and SEC matchups. Hey, don't miss it. Bubba Burger. All right.
That sounds pretty good right now.
Yes, it does. Clausen under center. Gives it off to his tailback, Foster. Foster got some running room, still fighting across midfield. Tim Goodwell made the stop at Foster, but he picked up a little yardage. And Tennessee probably will do a lot of running at this stage, wouldn't you think, Terrence?
I would agree with you. Chew up the clock, keep the ball on the ground, but the one thing you want is you want Arian Foster to protect the football.
Hold on to the pigskin is what Tennessee coaches are saying, and Memphis guys are saying, take it away. Snatch at that ball, grab at it every chance you get.
And you know they're going to be doing that, so if you're Arian Foster, when you're in traffic, you put 2 hands on the football.
6:17, clock ticking. Clausen going to probably bleed the clock as much as he can on this series. 2nd down, they need about 4 for a first. Foster goes straight ahead, dances a little bit outside, and gets close to a first down. I think he may be just a few inches short. He got 3, probably needed 3.5. Wesley Smith, free safety. Tim Goodwell from linebacker in defensively for the Tigers. It is just inches, about the length of the football, short of a first down. So it's 2nd down and that much to go.
And you may see a quarterback sneak here by Rick Clausen.
Correction, I said 2nd, it's 3rd down. In the half, the yardage situation on your screen right there, pretty even. So it's 3rd down. They need at least a half a yard for a first. Foster will, I don't know. Depends on the spot.
It looks like it's gonna be close.
I'm not sure he made it, to be honest with you. I think he might be a few inches shy. So then, what on earth do you call here? You can't give them the ball in midfield or close to it.
I punt the football. If I'm Tennessee, I punt it. I tell Britton Colquitt to aim to the sideline in below in between the goal line and the 10-yard line. Because if you're Philip Fulmer, your defense really has stymied the Memphis offense here in the second half. So you have confidence in your defense to be able to hold if you do decide to punt the football.
You would think the size of the Tennessee offensive line, you could have moved that football at least a foot.
But and I understand, different scenario. If you don't get it, Memphis gets the ball in great field position. All they need to do is drive and kick a field goal.
Wow, he missed it by 6 inches. All right, it's decision time.
And be careful. Tennessee may try to draw the Memphis defense off sides.
It's 4th down, roughly 6 inches. I'd say roughly 6 inches to go for a first down, and Tennessee apparently is going to go for it. But you're right, Terrence. If they fail to make it, 2 plays and they're in field goal range. We've got 4:48 to go in this contest. Do you go with Foster? Do you go with your fullback? Do you sneak it? They sneak it, and I think he got it. Rick Clausen. It appears to be a first down, and so Tennessee really gets away with one right there. Looked like Rich Gandy might have been the key blocker there. Let's see.
You're right. The left tackle there, the left guard, create a lane for Rick Clausen to fall forward.
Yeah, Gandy drive blocking that time. Aaron Sears limping off the field. It's like maybe one of those situations where you either have an ankle. It's Eric Young coming in for him. He either got stepped on the foot or twisted the ankle just a bit. And you can sure get stepped on in plays like that, Terrence.
Yes, you can.
Know. 4:25 remaining in the contest. Tennessee up by 1 point and having to quarterback sneak to keep this drive alive. Now they want to kill as much clock as possible, I would think. But that means Memphis is going to cheat up to the line of scrimmage and try to stop everything, bottle it in, keep Foster from getting outside, certainly. Referee steps in, blows his whistle, and
looks like it may be a delay of game on Tennessee.
Well, you don't need a mistake like that if you're Tennessee right at this stage of the ball game. Referee, please tell us what it is.
Or maybe the game clock didn't.
That may have been the case.
Didn't start. He's not going to tell us anything.
No, he's not. It has something to do with the clock. It's either the play clock or the game clock. It shows 4:25 remaining in the contest. But whatever it is, there's no penalty. Clausen hands it off to Foster. Foster cuts back, gets a couple of yards down to the 40-yard line, but he keeps the clock running. They've got to go to the 33-yard line for a first down. Tim Goodwell, who's played outstanding game today for Memphis from the linebacker position, made the stop.
I tell you, Arian Foster makes me really nervous carrying that ball in this situation outside like a loaf of bread. Really makes you nervous. If you're Tennessee, you got to hold on to the football in this situation. You wonder why he's not putting 2 hands on the ball running in between the tackles.
Chipper Taylor should perhaps talk to him about that. Here's the handoff to Aaron. This time he's going to bounce outside, and he's going to be close to a first down. He's fighting. I think he got it on that second, third effort. O.C. Collins wrote him down, but man, did he ever put on a great effort at the end there. At first, he could have gone down, but
there's no question about Aaron Foster's running ability. The problem with him has been turning over the football, and you see right there the ball out from away from his body on a couple of occasions.
Yep, you're right about that. 3:26 remaining in the game. Memphis 16, Tennessee 17. Tennessee with the football in Memphis territory at the 32-yard line. Trying to run the football here and kill as much clock as possible. Foster gets the call again. Bounces outside. Goes down the sidelines. Going to be run out of bounds just short of the first down by O.C. Collins, left cornerback.
Nice job of blocking by the offensive line. You see the right tackle or right guard there, Cody Douglas, creates a lane for Arian Foster. I think the one bright spot in this disappointing season has been the emergence of Arian Foster after the injury of Gerald Riggs. I think one thing going into next season that Tennessee will know is who their starting tailback will be.
Tennessee has used almost 4 minutes now on this drive since taking over with 6:56 to go in the ball game. We're down now to just over the 3-minute mark. So they're eating up some ground on the ground here, eating up time, and they run once again. Not much gained, but a lot gained on the clock because he keeps running. 16-17. Tennessee 1-point lead. There's the current Tennessee drive. 8 plays, 31 yards, agonizing yards for them. But they have chewed up 4 minutes. So Memphis, by the way, has all 3 timeouts remaining. We're going to bring the chain in to see how much. Well, it's a little closer than I thought. Just a matter of 3 or 4 inches. Still anybody's ball game. We've still got 2:48 to go. Take your lunch break with Philip Fulmer on Tuesday as CSS brings you live coverage of the Tennessee head coach's weekly press conference. Review today's contest against Memphis and preview Tennessee's SEC showdown with Vanderbilt. Tuesday at 12:30 only. CSS. Tennessee 3rd down and just an inch or 2 away from a first down. And a first down here comes real close to turning out the lights. I believe I'd sneak it. Terrence, what would you do?
It looks like, based on their set, that that's what they're going to do.
Clausen under at quarterback. Got some beef in front of him, and he does ram it head first in there. And I believe behind the 320 and 30-pound lineman, he's got it. Rob Smith, Cody Douglas, Albert Tawina are the men up there on that side where he went.
You're going to see Rick Clausen, as you said, lean and follow the right side of that offensive line.
Another look at it.
Good push by Tawina, good push by Cody Douglas. Allows Rick Clausen to fall forward, and a little extra help at the end by the tight end Chris Brown.
So it's first down and 10 to go for Tennessee with 2 minutes and 21 seconds remaining. Memphis has got 2 timeouts left. They had called one here just a moment ago, and they've gone to the sideline to huddle around Tommy West and his staff. Tommy West has had some tough breaks this year with injuries, but tell you what, he's got a pretty good football team and could have a very good team next year.
Lost his starting quarterback in the first ball game against Ole Miss. So, and then he comes into this ball game and takes Tennessee right down to the wire without his best football player, D'Angelo Williams.
I know in football people don't like to talk about moral victories, but even if they lose this ball game, they've hung in here. They are trailing by 1 point, and they were almost a 3-touchdown underdog in Tennessee's homecoming. Killed the clock time for Tennessee. 2:21 to go. Need another first down. They hand it off to Foster, who comes bouncing outside. And the flag goes down, and he's run out of bounds at about the 17-yard line by Brandon McDonald, but a flag was dropped in the backfield. Corey Anderson is talking to the official. He may be a guilty party here.
Holding number 45.
He was the guilty party. Corey Anderson.
10-yard penalty. Replay.
Number 45. That's a big penalty right there.
Yes, it is.
That's a break for Memphis, and it's a mistake that Tennessee made. And it stops the clock. It sets them back 10 yards. 2:12 to go in the contest. Now they're looking at a 1st and 20 instead of 1st and 10. I don't know why he was holding, because it was such a quick developing play. He was way behind it anyway, wasn't he?
Good question. Very good question.
Minute 52. The clock continues to run, which is certainly in Tennessee's favor right here. They hand it off straight up the gut. They go, and it is Arian Foster ahead for a yard or so, but now the clock has stopped, and Memphis may have used another timeout, and that leaves them with one more. So
Memphis,
they've used their second
call timeout.
Stops it at 1:42, makes it a 2nd down and 19 situation for Tennessee. The offseason is going to be a big story, I guess, around here. No matter what the outcome of the final 2 games after this one are, or 3rd or 4th game, if they should get in a bowl game, there's still going to be a lot of talk, and we assume, and maybe we shouldn't, but and Terrence and I are like all of you fans out there who are listening and watching, you know that you're thinking there are going to be changes too. So after you have a year like this, that's the norm.
And Tennessee, you know, the season already puts you at a disadvantage in recruiting against Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, Alabama. And then you take into account that the fact that there may be some coaching changes, that's also going to affect your recruiting.
I bet it is.
When the focus should be on just recruiting after the football season.
Yeah, they came in here with an 18-1 mark against Memphis, and they're hanging on for dear life. So don't pay any attention to that graphic, because it's not the year that you can watch what happened in the past and predict anything. Crossing is spun down way back here on the 37 or 8-yard line by Carlton Baker for a big fat loss. And folks, let's stop the clock again. We've still got a minute and 36 seconds to go.
And you're exactly right. And if you're Tennessee, you're going the wrong way. You're taking yourself completely out of field goal position. And a field goal here almost assures you of a win.
Tell you what, now it's a 3rd and 27. And 3rd and from here to Anderson County.
It looked as though they were trying to get Rick Clausen out on the corner to throw a pass, and Memphis just completely blew that up. Carlton Baker, the left outside linebacker, makes a huge play on Rick Clausen.
Both teams have gone to the sideline to huddle with their coaches. I don't know that you got many things in your playbook for 3rd and 27.
I don't either. I think if you're Tennessee, you give the ball to Arian Foster, you tell him to secure the football, and then you turn around and punt it to Memphis and tell your defense to win the ball game.
If you put it in the air, you're really gambling.
I would agree.
Old saying on a pass, out of 3 things, 2 bad things can happen. All right, we've got a minute 36 seconds of football remaining here at Neyland Stadium on homecoming for the Vols. It's been, for the old grads, an interesting weekend. Wow. 3rd and 27. You run it, just killed some clock, or you try to go deep, take a chance. We're going to run it. Foster's coming outside. He's got a lot of room. He's still on his feet. He's still fighting. He's going to be well short of a first down, but he picked up good yardage, and he stayed in bounds. The clock is still running. Minute 19 and ticking away. There's Philip Fulmer. This is a big play right here, Terrence.
Huge play by Arian Foster. Sees the cutback, still making people miss, still fighting to try to pick up the first down. Huge play by Arian Foster. I don't know what the question is here for Tennessee.
21-yard pickup.
But I checked that. I think they're trying to run as much time off the clock as they can.
And they stop it with 46 seconds to go.
But a big play by Arian Foster.
46 seconds remaining. Tennessee 17. Memphis 16. It's been a wild ride here today. We have seen some good football, and we've seen some not so good football on both sides.
And that was a big play by Arian Foster, because if you're Tennessee, you're thinking you're well out of field goal range, and his run is going to give James Wilhoit a nice shot at a three-point field goal.
What scares you to death here if you're a Tennessee coach right now or fan is getting it blocked. The Tennessee's offensive line is so big, it's going to be very difficult to get through that massive humanity for the block. It'll be about a 34-yard effort. It means Memphis would have to score a touchdown to win it. A field goal would not do it. Tennessee would go up by 4. It will be roughly 34. We'll say that. Will Hoyt, who's having a pretty good year for Tennessee. Oh, we all remember the Florida game he won here. Miracle. He's been key in some others. It's going to be a 34-yard effort. There's no wind at all. 0. The hold is down. It's good. Kick is up. Is it good? Yes, it is. And James Wilhoit has stretched the lead to 4. 20-16. Tennessee with 41 seconds to go. Is that enough time? Yes, it is.
It is.
Memphis will have to score a touchdown. A field goal will do them no good. So the kickoff is big here. Does he get it into the checkerboard? Woods put it down nicely. The hold was good, the snap was good, and the kick was good.
And Wilhoit knew right away that it was good.
Right down the old central pipe. And a nice round of applause from the head coach. Tommy West reacts. Well, Tommy's a cool customer.
And if you're Tennessee, you didn't play one of your better football games, but you're still going to win this football game unless something happens here in the last 41 seconds.
Well, there's the drive, 13 plays, 37 yards, and a big penalty in there, remember. The important thing was, though, they took 6 minutes plus off the clock.
Exactly. And on that drive, Tennessee did something that hadn't done in the whole second half, is keep the ball for a nice period of time. But if you win this ball game for Tennessee, the one thing that you do is you get that taste of losing out of your mouth.
Joseph Goss, Michael Granberry are deep. And the kick is deep and into the end zone. No chance for a return. That's a big play right there for Tennessee. So Memphis will start it at the 20-yard line, 80 yards away from winning it. Or 80 yards in front of them, and Tennessee a chance to win it, but holding them out of the end zone. 41 seconds to go. Tennessee plays Vanderbilt right here next week. Maurice Avery, who's been a warrior here today. I mean a warrior.
Expect Memphis to keep Maurice Avery out on the edges, roll him out. The one thing for Tennessee you don't want to do is allow him to make a play and get some people behind.
Well, there he is making a play and still on his feet, still going and running out of bounds, which he needed to do and stop the clock at 31 seconds to go. So he made a big play. Tennessee backing up in the secondary, trying to prevent the home run and not able to come up and close on him. And so he picked up a chunk of yardage.
A nice pickup by Maurice Avery.
From the 20 out to the 42-yard line. 31 seconds to go in the contest. Tennessee up by 4. It takes a Memphis touchdown to win it for the Tigers. Avery out of the shotgun. Tennessee rushing him. Still on his feet and throwing incomplete. Not much ran off the clock. Still 24 seconds to go. Antonio McCoy was the man in the neighborhood, but never had a chance to complete that one.
Nice job by the Tennessee secondary of not allowing Maurice Avery to find an open lane to throw the football.
Memphis at Southern Miss, and then wraps it up at home against Marshall. So 2 tough games for them still remaining. They'll operate in the shotgun. Avery got in pressure. Throws complete. Tennessee closing down on him and will stop him. And the clock will keep running with 14 seconds. 12.
They have one timeout left. They're going to try to get on and spike the ball, but they're not moving quick enough.
Well, that was kind of a useless play there because you're going to waste your time out now.
Right.
You can't do anything with it.
No, you almost have to throw a Hail Mary now.
4 seconds remaining. Jesse Mahalona is down. So the training staff is out working on Big Jesse. He's down right at midfield. Hopefully it's nothing more than having maybe the wind knocked out of him. Big guys played hard today. Boy, there's a couple of guys that earned some kind of bronze medal maybe for picking him up. Tennessee's remaining schedule: Vanderbilt here and then at Kentucky. Vanderbilt game appears to be a 12:30 kickoff Eastern time. Kentucky is unsure. They'll probably announce that Monday when the Kentucky game starting time will be on that game. All right, it comes down to one play. Memphis with one more shot. Tennessee wins it if they keep him out of the end zone. Avery being pressured, got time, rolls, got hit as he threw. It's up for grabs. It's going to be still up in the air. They're fighting for it. Clock shows no more time, and it's all over. Wow, what a finish. Only thing you could do, throw it up for grabs. Tennessee's coach congratulates Avery. Tommy West and Philip Coleman meet at midfield. They're old friends. Remember, Tommy coached here at Tennessee for years. Also head coach at Clemson and UT Chattanooga. Now he's at Memphis and doing a good job. The team came in here and played their heart out today. Tennessee fought hard to come from behind and win this football game, and they do. Tennessee wins it 20-60. Well, it's been a win for the old grads who came back for homecoming.